Honorable Speaker, in order to ensure that the ginaries comply with the standards, CDO has put in place a cotton classing laboratory and at Cotton House in Kampala, which is equipped with the 2 high-volume instruments, HVI testing machines for computerized fiber testing to carry manual classing of cotton lint, prepare fair average quality FAQ standards of cotton seed to guide giners during the marketing period and to provide technical advice on cotton quality issues for the cotton stakeholders. Right Honorable Speaker, CDO is currently carrying out cotton seed development under the validation component, from which seeds are supplied to 13 oil millers. Cotton seeds are so unique, like I said earlier, that are not easy to get on the market and are developed by specialized teams, not gamblers. This is a continuous activity, season after season. Right Honorable Speaker and honorable members, the table below shows the contribution of cotton to the household incomes of farmers and foreign exchange earnings. Cotton contributes 14% to agricultural exports, as displayed in the table. Right Honorable Speaker, the committee observes that monitoring cotton production, processing and marketing, plus quality controls, requires swiftness and high levels of efficiency, which can only be provided by a specialized and accredited agency like CDO. With the overwhelming demand of textile products in Uganda and abroad, the task ahead is so enormous that it requires empowering and supporting CDO to mobilize farmers to grow more cotton, quality assurance, consolidate and build on its achievements. Mainstreaming CDO into MAIF will lead to failure to promote quality cotton and loss of market. And now that we are discouraging second-hand clothes, so it is better that we emphasize on this. Right Honorable Speaker, on whether the cotton Thank you, my Deputy Chair, for doing a service to a sister. Right Honorable Speaker and honorable members, the other question is whether CDO's costs of administration drain the treasury at the expense of service delivery. Cotton remains an important cash crop in Uganda, ranked 3rd after coffee and tea. It is the main source of income for about 250,000 households who cultivate cotton under rain-fed conditions and with a minimal use of inputs such as fertilizers and chemicals. CDO over the year has painstakingly built the cotton quality system through rigorous training of staff and investment in cotton laboratories. Cotton runs a modern cotton classing laboratory with the internationally accredited cotton classers, which has resulted into the recognition of Ugandan cotton at the international market, where it fetches a premium price. Cotton, being a seasonal crop, requires timely supply of viable planting seed. CDO has maintained the quality of cotton planting seed through strict regulation of ginning and management of cotton seed. And when you go to the recently constructed processing facility in Pade district, you'll see what we are talking about. CDO staff have built expertise over time, Right Honorable Speaker, and currently a Ugandan who is a cotton classifier now serves on the International Cotton Association, Bremen Cotton Exchange, ICA Bremen Cotton Testing Laboratory Certification Committee. Right Honorable Speaker and Honorable Members, despite the above achievements, the government during the financial year 2023 allocated only 5.37 billion to the CDO. Sometimes allocation is 2 billion. The CDO has been an underfunded entity, yet over 250,000 households in Uganda survive on cotton. Besides the allocated funds and being a marginalized subsector, CDO was able to contribute 4.1 billion as NTR to the consolidated fund. The agency is mainly supported by private sector, and I don't know how private sector can accept to be merged under a government entity. Right Honorable Speaker, the committee notes that the certificate of financial implications provided by the Ministry of Finance only focuses on the savings calculated based on non-taxable revenues contributed by the sector, without valuing the technical advice and quality assurance provided by CDO. Right Honorable Speaker and Honorable Members, in conclusion, the committee is alive to the government's intentions to revive the cotton production value chain, investment in apparel for export and garment production in the country. The committee further appreciates the role played by CDO in promoting quality cotton production and market access. CDO is a member of international cotton standard bodies, the International Cotton Advisory Committee, the International Cotton Association, Liverpool and Bremen Cotton Exchange. To be a member of these cotton standard bodies, it is a requirement for a country to have a cotton regulatory body for purposes of standards enforcement. Without a cotton regulatory body, Right Honorable Speaker and Honorable Members, it will be difficult to sell Ugandan cotton on the international market at a premium price. The committee therefore notes that the justification to rationalize the Cotton Development Organization is not tenable and not good for the economy, and recommends that the bill entitled the Cotton Development Amendment Bill 2024 should not be passed, and this is also in line with the ad hoc committee report. Right Honorable Speaker and Honorable Members, I beg to report.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Honorable Chair. Next.
Bill second reading, the National Agricultural Advisory Services Amendment Bill 2024.
Yes. Honorable Minister, can you move a motion?
Madam Speaker, I beg to move that
Honorable members.
the bill entitled the National Agriculture Advisory Services.
Honorable members, listen. If you want to achieve what you want, you first listen.
Madam Speaker,
We are now on food security.
I'm moving that the bill entitled the National Agriculture Advisory Services Amendment Bill 2024 be read the second time.
Is the motion seconded? Is the motion seconded? Rukungiri, is the motion seconded? Honorable Emigu Mbwa, is the... I am saying is the motion seconded? Is seconded by the whole House. Would you want to speak to your motion?
Madam Speaker, as we have stated in the bills to rationalize and mainstream, this particular bill is aimed at streamlining the services of the NADs into the ministry. Colleagues, it's important to note that we are not taking away the roles and responsibilities of giving advice to our farmers. They remain. What we are trying to do is to combine and merge the administration costs so that we can provide services in a more effective and efficient manner. Colleagues, it's important that we listen to this argument. We already have extension services under the Ministry of Agriculture. So our extension staff are already in every sub-counties. We have a research department under the ministry. So bringing these NADs in the ministry, working together.
Honorable Minister, you continue. Don't allow this disrupt us.
Working together with the Extension Services Department, the Research and Development Department, and then the advisory services will actually offer better services to the country. And I know that your secondment of this motion was actually in support of mainstreaming these services. I beg to move.
Honorable Minister, since you're even given full powers, you're supposed to have given us our seeds during this season. Honorable Chair.
Thank you, Right Honourable Speaker and honourable members. I beg to lay on table the report of the Committee on Agriculture, Animal Industry and Fisheries, or the National Agricultural Advisory Services Amendment Bill 2024. I beg to lay.
Please lay.
In the same vein, I would like to lay on table the minutes of the committee meetings while considering the National Agricultural Advisory Services Amendment Bill 2024. I beg to lay.
Please lay.
Right Honourable Speaker, I now beg to present the report of the Committee on Agriculture, Animal Industry and Fisheries on the National Agricultural Advisory Services Amendment Bill 2024. Right Honourable Speaker, this bill was also tabled read for the first time on the 4th of April and referred to the committee. And the committee now reports. Right Honourable Speaker and honourable members, the National Agricultural Advisory Services, NADS, was established by the National Agricultural Advisory Services Act 2001. The mandate of NADS focuses on the following strategic objectives to contribute to agro-industrialization program, to increase access to critical...
Procedure matter.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, this is one of the bills we have truly interested ourselves in, and we have read this report very well. I was just wondering if the chair could just give us the observation and recommendation, because members we have really read this report. Thank you.
No problem. Chair, summarize.
Thank you very much, honourable colleagues, for that positive gesture. I now go straight to committee findings and observations. And of course, like I had earlier on said with the other bills, the justification for this bill also raises questions. And those are the questions that the committee made observations on and now makes recommendations. Right Honourable Speaker, NADS was established by National Agricultural Advisory Services Act. Sections 5 and 6 of the Act empower the organization to promote food security, nutrition, and household incomes, provide agricultural advisory services, support technical development and linkages with farmers, among other duties. Right Honorable Speaker, distribution of inputs for major food crops like maize, I repeat, like maize, beans, bananas, and all the rest that are lined up have been the role of NADS. And this has led to increased agricultural production and productivity and promoted food security. The committee notes that cash crops like tea and cocoa, which have no regulatory agency, are being promoted by NADS. As a result of NADS interventions, production in the tea sector has steadily increased, with the country producing 81,675 metric tons of tea in 2022, worth Uganda shillings 88.36 million US dollars, in comparison to 50,055 tons produced in 2017. Right Honorable Speaker, since members are very fast readers and they have read all those figures, I want to go straight to the observations. The committee observes that NADS has critical ongoing projects which are aligned with government priorities, like increasing household incomes, import substitution, poverty eradication, and market access. NADS has contributed to transformation of households from the subsistence economy from 68% to 39%. And these are figures from UBOS Statistical Abstract 2022 and MAIF Statistical Abstract 2023. Rationalization of NADS will lead to a reversal of the achievements attained so far. Right Honorable Speaker, the committee also notes that Uganda has achieved relative food security and has become the food basket for the East African region through the efforts of NADS. About 40.1% of households have achieved a balanced diet, and 45% consume 3 meals per day, an increase from 40% in 2015. Rationalization of NADS will lead to reversal of the food security gains, and it is the only entity that has been managing food security interventions. Right Honorable Speaker, on whether NADS has served the purpose for which it was established, the committee noted that increased production of high-value crops has stimulated establishment of processing facilities. For instance, 5 foreign investors have established avocado processing factories in Manamamve, Buikwe, Nakaseke, Kasese, and Chenjojo. The handling of the avocado produce has improved through these investors, who are able to utilize and add value to all the avocado produced in Uganda and generate more export earnings under the guidance of NADS. Right Honorable Speaker, ensuring food security is a key constitutional responsibility of the Ministry of Agriculture that NADS is better placed to deliver as a frontline agency of the ministry. Secondly, this is an ongoing and not a term responsibility that needs to be maintained. NADS has become the face of the MAIF with the farmers throughout the country, and it has become the household name in most of the families. The committee does not believe that MAIF can substitute NADS on food security and perform in this endeavor. On whether the NADS administration costs are so high that they drain the treasury and the expense of service delivery, the committee notes that they claim savings are more than the projected budget for financial year 2024-2025 by Uganda shillings 67.88 billion. This is unbelievable, as NADS has been allocated only 35.5 billion in financial year 2024-2025. And this is the analysis of the Certificate of Financial Implication for NADS. The committee also notes that although NADS does not collect NTR, it is an important player in the agricultural value chain, which is the mainstay of Uganda's economy. The current level of GDP and export growth and employment creation is majorly based on agricultural production that NADS has helped to grow and to sustain. It would be reckless to mainstream NADS into MAIF and risk this gain. Right Honourable Speaker and Honourable Members, in conclusion, the pivotal role played by NADS in filling the gaps in the agricultural sector and providing demand-driven services in line with modern agricultural trends and global market demands cannot be overemphasized. This calls for strengthening of the institution rather than mainstreaming it into the Ministry of Agriculture, Animal Industry, and Fisheries. Right Honourable Speaker and Honourable Members, the committee therefore recommends that the National Agricultural Advisory Services Amendment Bill 2024 for purposes of food security validation should not be passed. Right Honourable Speaker and Honourable Members, I beg to report.
Thank you so much, Honourable Chair. We go to the last one.
Bill's second reading, the National Coffee Amendment Bill 2024.
Honourable Minister.
Madam Speaker, I beg to move that the bill entitled the National Coffee Amendment Bill 2024 be read a second time.
Thank you. Would you seconded? Is the bill seconded? Is it seconded? Seconded. Honourable members, the bill, the motion to the bill to be read for the second time. Now, the minister, would you substantiate? By the whole house has seconded. Substantiate.
Madam Speaker, in 1986...
Honourable Minister, before you come in, I have some young stars up there in the public gallery. They are students and teachers from King Norton International School located in Wakiso. They are represented in Parliament by Honourable Lubega Medad Seguna and Honourable Naluima Ethel. You're most welcome. First stand up and we see you. Stand up. You're welcome. Thank you for coming. Yes. Thank you so much for coming. You're welcome. Please have a seat. Yes, Honourable Minister. Is the chairperson of gender here? Where? Deputy. Okay, come.
Madam Speaker, in justification for this bill, in 19 1986, our country was exporting 4.5 million bags of coffee. As we speak, because of the good programs and support that we have given this sector, we are now producing more than 20 million bags of coffee. The same government that has been able to put in place this support and effort support the coffee sector is the same government that has realized some gaps that we have in this sector. And we think that the gaps that we have in the sector are mainly to do with research and development, cross-supervision, can be cured by mainstreaming the Coffee Development Authority into the ministry. I can appreciate the mood in the House that, and I play that, Madam Speaker, I pray that you will give an opportunity, this important bill, to reach the third stage so that you can appreciate the amendments that we are bringing forth. If we put the Coffee Development Authority under the ministry, would be supported more in terms of research and development, will support the vision of growing the exports of our country. In my opinion and the opinion of government, will actually not affect the roles and responsibilities of Uganda Development Coffee Authority. It will only look at the administration. So, honorable colleagues and Madam Speaker, I recommend that this bill will be given an opportunity to reach the third stage. I thank you.
Thank you. We have not started debate. We have not started debate. Chair, give us a summary.
Thank you, Right Honourable Speaker. Right Honourable Speaker, I beg to lay on table the report of the Committee on Agriculture, Animal Industry and Fisheries on the National Coffee Amendment Bill 2024. I beg to lay. Right Honourable Speaker, in the same vein, I beg to lay the minutes of the meetings of the Committee on Agriculture while considering the National Coffee Amendment Bill 2024. I beg to lay. Right Honourable Speaker, I now beg to present the report of the Committee on the National Coffee Amendment Bill 2024. Right Honourable Speaker, this bill was also read for the first time on the 4th of April and referred to the committee. Right Honourable Speaker, Uganda Coffee Development Authority, UCDA, is a statutory body established in 1991 by the Uganda Development Authority Act, CAP 325, which repealed and was replaced by the National Coffee Act number 17 of 2021. It was formed following the coffee subsector reforms and market liberalization program in 1990, which resulted into the separation of the regulatory and trading functions and the monopoly in the export of coffee that existed then. Right Honourable Speaker, the Minister has already been given the object and justification for the bill, but the justification, Right Honourable Speaker, raises some questions on whether the mandate overlaps between UCDA and MAIF exists, and whether UCDA has served the purpose for which it was established. and whether Uganda Coffee Development Authority's costs of administration drain the treasury at the expense of service delivery. Right Honorable Speaker, in consideration of this bill, the committee met those ministries, did documentary review of those documents, and the committee received a long list of 28 written submissions from those entities. Buganda Cultural and Development Foundation, honorable colleagues, you can read them, they are there. Obukama Bwa Bunyoro Kitara and others. All these, Right Honorable Speaker, wrote their written submissions to make a case for UCDA not to be merged. And all these are value chain actors in the coffee subsector. Committee findings and observations. The committee established that UCDA derives its mandate from the National Coffee Act. That was 2021. Under sections 4 and 5, the functions of UCDA are to regulate all on-farm and off-farm activities in the coffee value chain, promote and oversee the quality of coffee along the value chain, support research and development, promote production, and improve the marketing of coffee to optimize earnings for coffee stakeholders in the country. Right Honorable Speaker and honorable colleagues, the committee notes that UCDA plays a pivotal role in overseeing coffee quality to ensure compliance with the export contracts and international food safety standards. Right Honorable Speaker, the committee notes that in order to sustain the European markets that constitute 60% of the Ugandan coffee sales.
Proceed, yeah.
Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker. Right Honorable Speaker, we have read the bill. We are well versed with what is in the report.
You have read the report?
We've read the report. We are well versed with what is in the report. We would only request that for purposes of saving time, we go to observations and conclusions, and we... Right Honorable Speaker, you read the mood of the House?
No, I've not read anything. I've not read anything.
Okay, Right Honorable Speaker.
Me, I'm ready to put a question.
That is very good. So Right Honorable Speaker, my procedural matter is basically to...
Yes, or to summarize.
Yes, I thank you, Right Honorable Speaker.
Right Honorable Speaker, now I can over-summarize. Judging from the mood of the House, the committee concluded that there is no duplication of UCDA's mandate with MAI for any government agency. The committee observes that coffee sector is an important export earner that should be independently regulated to meet the demands of the export market. The civil service mode of operation and service delivery cannot efficiently undertake and deliver this mandate. It is important to note that UCDA has increased the production volumes of coffee from 3.5 million 60 kilogram bags in 2014-15 to 8.06 million 60 kilogram bags currently, and with a medium-term target of 20 million bags by 2019-2030. Merging the mandate and abolishing it risk derailing this very critical target. Right Honorable Speaker, on whether UCDA has served the purpose for which it was established, the committee notes that government is committed to achieving a target of producing 20 million bags by 2030, and this was under the coffee roadmap, which was launched by His Excellency, the President in 2017. And it is being coordinated by Dr. Suruma, the former Minister of Agriculture. So UCDA has distributed seedlings, and this is likely to increase production as the country looks towards achieving the coffee roadmap. Right, Honorable Speaker, Vietnam learned about coffee from us, but because of their robust arrangements of not moving forward and backward, they achieved what we intend to achieve in 2013 in 2015. Right, Honorable Speaker and Honorable Members, Figure 1 shows the trend of coffee export volumes and value from 2023, 2024, 04 to 2022, 2023 in $1 million. Right, Honorable Speaker, on quality assurance, the committee observes that coffee quality control requires swiftness. There is no postponement, and high levels of efficiency, which is best provided under the agency model. The committee also observes that despite the commendable achievements by UCDA, the task ahead is enormous and requires empowering and supporting UCDA to sustain, consolidate, and build on its achievements. Mainstreaming UCDA risks failure to promote quality coffee, affects research efforts, and may lead to market information asymmetry. It will also jeopardize critical functions, leading to adverse effects on Uganda coffee exports and global competitiveness. According to the organogram provided by Ministry of Public Service, coffee is supposed to go under a division under the Department for Agricultural Production. Right, Honorable Speaker, the committee concludes that the mandate of UCDA is never ending. Areas like Karamoja have just been brought on board and other parts of the country. And it promotes one of our key export earners that has a multiplier effect throughout the economy, creating jobs, supporting livelihoods, and resulting into economic growth and development. This mandate is better served by the agency model of coffee development in line with other coffee exporting countries. The committee notes that the experience of Kenya and Ethiopia on rationalization resulted in reduced coffee production on exports, and these countries have now adopted such as UCDA. Uganda is the 7th largest coffee producer globally and is ranked 3rd in terms of quality coffee. In Africa, Uganda stands 2nd in coffee production and the 1st in exports in Africa. With the proposed rationalization of UCDA, Uganda risks losing these gains due to red tape and bureaucracies. On whether UCDA cost of administration drains the treasury at the expense of service delivery, Table 1 shows the non-tax revenue collections by UCDA for the last 5 years. And right, Honorable Speaker, the budget estimates for financial year 2024 put UCDA budget at 44.76 billion. The certificate of financial implication indicates the net saving as a result of rationalization will amount to 82.19 billion in financial year 2024-2025, which will be 38.54 billion more than the projected budget. The committee therefore notes that the CFI on coffee is inaccurate. The savings claim will not be realized as indicated in the certificate of financial implication. Right, Honorable Speaker, I have already talked about the coffee roadmap. It was next, where we intend to achieve 20 million bags of 60 kilogram bags of coffee by 2030. And the country is not about to retract from the coffee roadmap unless maybe the House will be informed about any new developments about that. Right, Honorable Speaker, On comparative analysis with other top coffee producing countries, the committee observed that in all successful coffee producing countries, coffee is regulated by specialized agency. The agency model has proven to be efficient in most coffee producing countries in the world. And when you go to the next table, Right Honorable Speaker, table 2 shows countries with the specialized agency model for coffee, including the #1 coffee exporting country and producer and exporter, which is Brazil, even Vietnam, which is now #2 globally. So those are the statistics, Right Honorable Speaker, of the success of the agency model in the countries that are coffee growing. Right Honorable Speaker, the committee therefore notes that to achieve increased coffee production, promote quality assurance, and exploit market opportunities, the government needs to empower UCDA to remain a semi-autonomous agency to promote coffee production and marketing. Right Honorable Speaker, recently the AU declared coffee a crop for the continent, and we are the pearl of Africa. In conclusion, Right Honorable Speaker, the committee is alive to the need for a comprehensive and responsive law that addresses production, processing, storage, and sale of all cash crops in the country. The committee further appreciates the role of UCDA has played in promoting good quality coffee and opening up markets that have helped farmers to get better prices. Mainstreaming into the civil service will negatively affect the achievements Uganda has attained in quality coffee production and export and access to international market, thus stunting economic growth and development. UCDA has invested heavily in coffee quality assurance, the reason Uganda has displaced other countries in the global markets. Coffee quality control requires swiftness. Uganda's coffee processing engineers, not just an engineer, are currently deployed to monitor quality compliance of 506 primary processors, 22 washing stations, 23 roasters, 704 buying stores, and 37 export grading stores on a day-to-day basis. Any delays in the enforcement of quality standards with any of the value chain actors will negatively affect the quality of coffee and Uganda's competitiveness on the market. Right Honorable Speaker and honorable members, the committee therefore recommends that the bill entitled the National Coffee Amendment Bill 2024 should not be passed by this House. I beg to report.
Honorable Chair, thank you so much for the report. Reports, not report. And honorable members, thank you. I just want to hear something from the minister who was in charge of RAPEX. What was the basis of rationalizing those 4 entities? Let's first hear from him, because you know, this did not come from the president. It came from the minister responsible. And the minister advised the president, and that was the basis. That's how it went to cabinet. So I want to hear from the RAPEX minister.
Right Honorable Speaker,
He's
don't
a
want to.
Secretary General.
I am a Secretary General of the Patriotic League of Uganda. Right, Honorable Speaker, I don't want to debate now, but I just want you to forgive the minister, and also on my behalf and on behalf of all the patriots. Right, Honorable Speaker, I want to implore and also request the minister, because yesterday I heard him say that some members have been bribed by some entities, that we have been mobilized. I want to request you, Honorable Minister, in some cases you go with a win-win situation. There are some areas where you have won, in other areas where you lose, you accept to lose. Like this one, you can read the mood. Don't go to the president and blackmail parliament, blackmail the speaker, blackmail fellow ministers that they have failed to defend this. You can see even yourself, it is not easy to defend this. Accept to lose this, as we have also accepted that you win in some areas. Because we have mainstreamed some agencies, accept that UCDA, Cotton, Direct Cooperation, NADS, stay, accept to lose this one. I beg to submit.
Thank you.
Right Honorable Speaker.
You know the worst thing is when you lead a house where members are predictable. Now, like what Honorable Okabanda said, you are reading the House advisors.
Right Honorable Speaker and honorable members, indeed I've been in the House. I have read, heard and seen. But, Right Honorable Speaker, I think in line with our democratic process and the right ushered in, of course, by the NRM government, and the right to be heard, and also to maybe put the other alternative, I think it's in order that for me I say something. Briefly, I'm a person of very few words, Right Honorable Speaker. I'm not going to take a lot of time, such that
By the way, Honorable Minister, I'm not saying you withdraw the bill. I am not saying you withdraw.
That's right, you have not said it. And by the way, maybe to make my stand quite clear, that I'm not in spite of the plea that has been given, to say let's withdraw or let's no. But just briefly listen to the other alternative, and then of course it's your prerogative and your right to take a decision. Right Honorable Speaker, one thing I think that is clear is that there has been a policy shift. That policy shift regarding all these agencies and so on, which has been codenamed RAPEX. This policy shift has actually been championed by government, arising from a long history of service delivery, which was recommended by the Public Service Review Commission way back, even before I came on the scene. And actually, many changes have taken place, and until we have reached this change, this moment where I've come in and championing some fresh look at agencies. And of course, for it to go full cycle, there will be other changes coming. So it's a policy shift. Indeed, we have had a very good report from the committee. However, what I think we should not lose focus of is that all these activities, all these functions, all these measures, international and local and so on, are not going to be lost. They are going to be preserved, they are going to be improved, and everything will be okay. Right Honorable Speaker, Right Honorable Speaker, indeed, I'm summarizing.
Members, leave the minister to finish.
I'm summarizing. Yes, I'm summarizing. I have sat here, I have listened, and I think I've been very disciplined because I've not heckled. And I think, really, this August House, many times, really, most of the time, is not known for heckling. And it is also a very balanced house.
No, you're not going, you don't divert the members.
Yes, I'm not diverting.
Talk about your bills.
Yes, I'm not
How
diverting.
members heckle, shout, or whichever, I am the one to rule on that.
I was saying,
you bring your point.
my point is, and I've made it, that the functions are not going to be lost. The other point that I'd like to make, Right Honorable Speaker, is that indeed, under RAPEX, there are going to be substantial savings. And these savings certainly will be plowed back into a more robust service delivery. Right Honorable Speaker, when I now concentrate on NADS, this is an example of really a situation which has been overtaken by events. First of all, there are a number of policies that we have adopted. For instance, the PDM, we have adopted that. And that is, for most of its main shift, what it's going to do is actually going to do what NADS has been doing. Secondly, some of the achievements attributed to NADS, and if you look at the history of NADS, some of them, really, let's not forget that there have been other players as well, Right Honorable Speaker. There's the player that I note here in the committee report, a player known as Operation Wealth Creation. Yes, which to the main has actually assisted NADS. The same is true in some of the accomplishments which have been attributed to the Coffee Development Authority. And let's not forget, really, that Operation Wealth Creation, because of the discipline of its actors, has really played a very significant role. Finally, Right Honorable Speaker, there seems to be some negative feeling that when there is mainstreaming, all the good skills, all the learning that we have achieved, which forms now a big repertoire and a strong foundation of our development, is going to disappear just because maybe a name like Development Authority, like NADS and so on, has gone. But I might pause and say, what is in a name? That is a question in one of the Shakespearean texts. What is in a name? Yes. Finally, Right Honorable Speaker, for me, I would like to implore the House that actually support these bills, let them pass. History will judge us. Thank you.
Thank you, Honorable Minister.
Right,
And
Honorable
indeed,
Speaker.
history will judge us.
I have not heard from the minister, most especially where he blackmailed this institution, where he blackmailed you, Right Honorable Speaker, where he blackmailed fellow ministers, himself, and he was the Honorable Minister to come here and be on record, not to substantiate, but to withdraw that statement, because we are here on behalf of our people. I beg to submit.
Right Honorable Speaker, the word blackmail is very strong.
You know one thing, you can only substantiate but not withdraw what is not on the official record, but you can substantiate.
I am not a blackmailer. I have never been a blackmailer. I really take a lot of offense to be accused here in the House that I'm a blackmailer. And therefore there is nothing to substantiate, there is nothing to withdraw. I have not blackmailed anybody, you see. And I wouldn't really, I don't take it kindly that a colleague would stand up here.
Honorable members,
thank you very much.
One thing is, our conscience is very clear. Everybody's conscience here is clear. Nobody has been bribed. Whatever you're doing here, you're doing it for and on behalf of your people. And whether people want to go blackmailing or whichever, saying somebody has been bribed, that's their business. For us, let's do what we ought to do. So, for me, the debate is open. Yes, there's a procedural matter.
Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker. Of course, I have a lot of sympathies with my very senior brother and friend, the Honorable Minister. To have bills you've brought in good faith, finding themselves in that kind of unfortunate situation they are in right now, you have my sympathies. Of course, I appreciate the shift in government policy towards through RAPEX. And government has had lots of shifts in policy, but again had reversals as a problem. Just like we run a private sector-led economy and then end up giving contracts on blue letters. We appreciate those challenges, Right Honourable Speaker. In the circumstances, Right Honourable Speaker,
these bills were not formed on blue letters. They were by acts of this parliament. And that's why they've come back to this parliament, either for a repeal, amendment. So remove the blue letters.
I appreciate the Speaker. I was just trying to make a juxtaposition for the Honourable Minister to understand my misgivings about government policy and the policy reversals we have suffered over the years. But in the circumstances, would it be okay to save time and also save the Honourable Minister the pain of seeing the death, the demise of these bills at infancy, to ask the Speaker to call bill by bill and the vote is taken, that we don't have to waste so much time. If we agree to proceed, then we proceed and then save this House time to go to the next business. Right, Honourable Speaker, I beg to indulge in that move like that.
Is that supported? Okay. No, it has been supported already. We are going bill by bill. So sit. You have all seconded. Honorable Budu, welcome back. We are happy to have you back, and sorry for what happened to you. We continue standing by you, our good friend, Honorable Abudu Katuntu. Honorable members in the VIP gallery this afternoon, we have a delegation from SC Planter. They are led by the ambassador of Uganda to Japan, and the ambassador, Honorable Kao Atofas. Our very own, we miss you. And the delegation, we have Dr. Kim, who is the CEO of SC Planter. You're most welcome. You're in good hands when you're with our very own. We have Mr. Ian, the Chief Legal Officer. You're most welcome. We have Miss Hiromi, most welcome. That is, then we have Miss Masako, most welcome. They are here to observe the proceedings this afternoon. Most welcome. This is Parliament of Uganda and the People-Centered Parliament. Honorable members, as you've said, I am going to put a question, bill by bill, and for the second reading. If you want us to continue with the bill for the second reading, you say aye. And when we continue for the second reading, then we shall have defeated the committee report. Okay? But if you don't want us to continue, then you say what? Then it will stop there. And we will maintain the status quo. Honorable members, I am going to put a question. There are 4 motions. And just for a matter of clarity, if you're not in for the bill continuing, you say nay. If you're in for the bill to continue and be taken back to the ministry, you say aye. Are we together? Yes. Oh, you want to put up your hands? Yes. Honorable members, I put a question that Honorable members, I put a question that the National Agricultural Advisory Services Amendment Bill 2024 be read a second time. Those in favor say and the contrary nay. Nay. Honorable members, honorable members, unfortunately I had only one eye. The nays have it. Honorable members, I put a question that the Cotton Development Amendment Bill 2024 be read a second time. Those in favor say and the contrary nay. The nays have it. Honorable members, honorable members, honorable members, I put a question that the National Coffee Amendments Bill 2024 be read the second time. Those in favor say and the contrary nay. Have it.
Right Honorable Speaker.
Honorable members.
Honorable Speaker, just a second.
Honorable members, I put a question that the Dairy Industry Amendment Bill 2024 be read the second time. Those in favor say on the contrary nay. The nays have it.
Right Honorable Speaker, I beg to thank this House, but Right Honorable Speaker, I want to urge members of this House that the job we've done, there is a second leg. Let us ensure that in the budget process, these agencies are well resourced, that they have the monies allocated to do their mandate. We need the coffee, we need the cotton, we need the dairy, and we need to play to the highest standards. And we urge all those committees where resources are. Let us find the resources. That is our role, and we ensure that these resources are in the budget and fully appropriated. I thank you.
Thank you. Yes.
Right Honorable Speaker. First, allow me, I guess on behalf of all the colleagues, to thank the Honorable Member, the Chair of the committee, for a very wonderful report, well written. This is one of the best written reports I've seen in a long time in this House. I want to thank her, the committee members.
We had a necessary report.
No, I'm saying in this time, not our time. Not in the 10th Parliament, but as Honorable Speaker. The clerk of that committee, I want to really appreciate the way the report was written and the members. Thank you.
Right Honorable Speaker, there is something I picked from the report which the chairperson hinted.
Wait, and I first tell you what I picked from the report. Why was the authority formed? What hasn't it done? And what needs to be corrected?
Thank you.
And if all reports would be like that, that we formed this authority, what is that we have not done, and what do we need to do to improve on what we have failed to do? Then we would be moving on the right direction. We shouldn't just come here omnibus, rationalization, rationalization. Let's have a basis for it. You may not talk about the quantitative reason or analysis, but you need to look at it. What is that you have failed to do that you need to ought to have done?
Thank you, Honorable Speakers, for elucidating further on why I was appreciating the committee, that it was based on those points. The second one, which the Minister of Finance, I wish he could listen. I wish the Minister of Finance could listen, which was brought out from the committee regarding the certificate of financial implication, where you are saying you are going to save about 80 billion, yet the budget you have always provided for UCDA is 48 billion. How could you make such a mistake? You have been providing every year 48 billion, but you are saying you are going to save 80 billion. Would you like to elaborate and make us understand how that is possible? If not, apologize to this House for bringing a wrong document. Thank you.
Honorable members, can we hear from the sponsor first?
Madam Speaker, on behalf of the Minister and the Minister of Agriculture, I would like to thank the House for passing the two bills, the agricultural chemical.
We have passed 6.
I was coming to that. For passing in favor of government position, the Agricultural Chemicals Control Amendment Bill 2024, and the other bill. Madam Speaker, on the four bills, the coffee, the cotton, nuts, and dairy, we take note that this Parliament is a temple of democracy, and you have exercised your democratic right. We have a duty as government to go and dress these bills better. Hopefully, next time you look at them in a different eye. I thank you.
Honorable members, give, okay, Francis.
Thank you so much, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, I also want to thank the chair of the committee for a good report, but I also want to thank the members for standing together for the good of this country. Honorable Speaker, we have done this because we are a voice of our people. For food security, for value addition, now we can go and mobilize them more so that then that is realized. I want to thank you.
Thank you so much. Honorable, you all want to talk about what has gone.
Thank you. Proceed.
Right, Honorable Speaker, yes, I am not debating on this one, but Right Honorable Speaker, I want Honorable Bahati to come back here because the issue I raised about Honorable Muruli Mukasa, where some of these people, no, I'm not saying that he should come back and answer on behalf of Honorable Muruli Mukasa, but when you hear what he has said, he said, when we come back, maybe next time you support us. It means that they will go convince the president blackmail us that we have been bribed, I want him to come back on record, because here, Honorable Bahati, we are defending our people. We are not defending our interests.
Honorable members, the government has a right to come back if they think we've done something wrong. We also have a right to do what we have done again.
Madam Speaker, the Honorable Kabanda, the first-term member of Parliament, maybe has not learned this particular one. Listen, maybe the Honorable Kabanda, as you have said, Madam, as you have said,
Honorable members, why the excitement?
We cannot blackmail
Let me
Parliament.
tell you.
We do not have that capacity.
Just a minute. You're full of excitement. If I ask any of you, who has just one tray of coffee? So, if you have them, then keep quiet and listen to what they are saying. That will help your coffee. Yes.
I said we cannot blackmail Parliament, but the executive has the right to bring any matter to the House, and the House has the right to take any decision about the matter brought by the executive. So, Honorable Kabanda, there is no contradiction, and I thank you for all the decisions I've taken.
Thank you so much, honorable members and the honorable ministers. I want to thank you. Of course, there is a give and take. And can we go to the next bills? Let's just have the next for gender. Then we have lunch.
Bill second reading. The children.
Honorable members, stop. Now you've started getting out. Sise.
The Children Amendment Bill 2024.
Honorable Minister, can you move the motion?
Thank you. Right Honorable Speaker. Right Honorable Speaker, I beg to move that the Children Amendment Bill 2024 be read a second time.
Seconded. Is the motion seconded by Isaac Silwanyi, Honorable Minister O.O. Sanoni, Docas, Honorable Katuntu, even when you're seated. The bill is seconded. Would you love to speak to it?
Thank you. Right Honorable Speaker and members. Honorable Speaker, this bill was enacted as an act in 2016. Since that time, the board has never been appointed. We've had technical team that has been take caring the authority. The proposition is to dissolve the authority and mainstream the function in the ministry, and the ministry as a defunctional that handles issues related to children. And since it has not been functional since its enactment, and the ministry under the Department of Children has been able to manage efficiently and coordinate all the mandates, we support that it be mainstream in the ministry. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Honorable Chair. Could you give us a brief report to that? We are mainstreaming.
Thanks very much,
to
Right
the
Honorable Speaker.
main ministry.
Right Honorable Speaker, I've been requested by my chair to represent her, who is on other duties. I think you are aware. And Right Honorable Speaker, I'm here to present the report on the Committee of Gender, Labour and Social Development on Children's Amendment Bill 2024. But before I proceed, Chair, allow me and I beg to lay on the table the minutes and the report. Right Honourable Speaker, I'm tabling the report on the Committee of Gender, Labour and Social Development on the Children's Amendment Bill 2024. I will try to be brief, but I need to give the introduction. The Children's Amendment Bill was read for the first time on 1st April 2024 and referred to our committee and did its service. The background of the bill, Right Honourable Speaker, is the same as other bills that we have funded. It's about rationalization of the government agencies. The legal framework of the National Children's Authority, Right Honourable Speaker, I need to give it so that members can know where it came from. The Constitution provides under Article 34 for the rights of child and provides for the children's rights to health, right to education, and the right to protection from exploitation. The Children's Act, Cap 59, is the primary law on the children's matters that puts into effect the Constitution provisions. Right Honourable Speaker, African Charter on the Rights and Welfare of the African Child, other relevant laws and policies on children's matters include the Penal Code Act, Cap 120, the Employment Act 2006, the Computer Misuse Act 2011, the Anti-Pornography Act 2014, and the Prevention of Trafficking of Persons Act 2009. Right, Honourable Speaker and honourable members, I will not go to the methodology which you have already read and the documents reviewed. Let me go to the rationale for the dissolution of the National Children's Authority. Government has put forward the following argument to justify the rationalization of government agencies, including restructuring, reorganizing, realigning of the public service structures, the removal of duplication of roles between the Department of Children Affairs and the Ministry, and to reduce wastage of public funds. That is the government side. Right Honourable Speaker and honourable members, the implication of dissolving the National Children's Authority is important to be forwarded. During the interaction with the National Children's Authority, the committee was informed that the proposal to dissolve the authority would have the following negative implication for the persons presented hereby. Increase in the case of children's rights violation. Children, by virtue of their age, are vulnerable to issues like child trafficking, sexual harassment, child labor, child sacrifice, child marriages, teenager pregnancies, etc. For instance, the National Labor Survey of 2020 indicated that 6 million children are trapped in child labor and street children are more than 10,000 according to the National Child Policy 2020. And the National Children's Authority has been put at the forefront for addressing the issues. Therefore, the issues at hand are likely to escalate due to the gap that is going to be created by the abolition of the authority. Lack of political will to protect the children. The bill is silent about government's commitment to supporting children's rights affairs and protection of children from exploitation and manifest vulnerability. There is a capacity challenge already, which is danger in the Department of Children in the ministry, has failed to address the affairs of children challenges sufficiently. Potential effects on compliance to the international instruments. The abolition of the authority will be a setback to the effects of Uganda in complying with its obligation as a signatory to the international instruments. Country, and yet Uganda is leading example for other countries to benchmark on the best practices. Such international instruments include the United Nations Convention on the Rights of the Child, 1989, the African Charter on the Rights and Welfare of the Child, 1990. For instance, Article 120 of the East African Community Child Policy tasks partner states that include Uganda to make sure that children are given maximum protection due to their vulnerability. Loss of jobs and further marginalization. These are observations of the committee. The bill in the relevant clauses states that staff of the councils may be redeployed subject to the availability of the positions. This implies that some people may lose their jobs if no positions are available. Hence, further marginalization of persons of those groups currently employed. The committee notes that the transition process of the employees who may lose jobs is unclear and non-committal. Lack of an independent structure to provide checks and balances on the Ministry of Children's Affairs. The authority was providing research, guidance, checks and balances to ensure effectiveness in tackling the challenges faced by the children. Therefore, there would be lack of scrutiny of gaps in service delivery on matters of children. With the dissolution of the authority, the country will lose an intermediary for marginalized and vulnerable groups of children who are being left out during the service delivery by the ministry. Committee observations and recommendations, Right Honorable Speaker. 1. Inadequate consultation of stakeholders. The councils and the National Children's Authority, who are the key stakeholders, were not consulted on the rationalization process, although the Commissioner, Equity and Compliance represented the Minister of the working group. Recommendations. The Ministry of Public Service should in future carry out adequate consultation with all the relevant stakeholders, especially with the implementation structures prior to formulation of the bill. And honorable members, we have already foreseen that. Most of the committees were complaining, and that's why some ministers could not come because they failed to convince the committees. Dissolving of the National Children's Authority. Clause 4 of the bill dissolves the National Children's Authority with its board and secretariat as established under Section 9A of the Children's Act, Cap 59, thereby creating a gap in the specific monitoring and supervision of implementation of policies for safeguarding children as a unique special interest group. Children as a unique special interest group. Recommendation. The committee recommends strongly that there is great need to have an independent body responsible for the protection for children's rights, notwithstanding the intended resolution of the National Children's Authority. In fact, it is using a polite language that maintain the same. So deletion of clause 10.3, which the minister has already accepted that the board, ever since it was created, it was not appointed, neither did it function. The committee recommended that when we reach the committee stage, 10.3 should be deleted because it is redundant. In conclusion, Right Honorable Speaker, notwithstanding government's decision to rationalize government agencies, and that includes the National Children's Authority, the committee strongly argues that the children being of tender age, they are vulnerable to exploitation. The issues of children should be given urgent and special attention. The ad hoc committee that was set up by Parliament to discuss the issue of rationalization and recommended that agencies in the social development sector should not be rationalized. With the abolition of the authority, there will be a no-independent government agency on children related to matters, and therefore a big gap in the role of policy information, consultation, efficient protection of children's rights in Uganda. I beg to submit.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Honourable members, you've heard the issue of the children. The bill which is before us on the Children's Amendments Bill 2024. Honourable Minister, you've heard what the chair said, that he should maintain the act as it is. Is that agreeable with you?
Right Honorable Speaker, what is in the report of the committee is agreeing with the position of government in the amendment. Because I have the report.
What is the position of government?
That the authority is dissolved and the function
is taken to the mainstream.
Yes,
and the department.
Yes, under of children. The only difference with the committee is there are certain functions like registration of children where they are moving it to national registration.
You know, the report is in agreement with the government position. But now the former minister brought in personal feelings. You brought in personal feelings. Honorable members, what government is saying, let's take this sector to avoid a lot of having institutions. You are the ones who are saying we should have a lean government. And in the process of having a lean one, let's take it back to the ministry. And when we have it in the ministry, we have a department of children. We have a department of youth, a department of women. What's wrong with that? We shall be reducing costs. Harriet.
Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker. Members, for me personally, I have no problem with the report of the committee. And personally, I support the take that they create for them a department and we streamline there. It is okay, it has no issues, because it does not counter the protection of the rights of children. Thank you.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, the rights of children in every country is a mandate of the state to make...
Honorable members, we have a minister of children and gender, not so? So what is the problem? Why wouldn't we take these children to the minister? Yes.
Thank you so much, Madam Speaker. The information I've got from the minister in charge of gender is that this authority has not been working because the board has not been getting funds. Therefore, it doesn't even have a board at the moment, which means it has not been working. And in the ministry, they have a department in charge of children. And the minister has been supervising that department. So I think there is no problem having this or the functions taken to the ministry. Thank you so much, Madam Speaker.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, I want to agree with the committee report because already the ministry has structures. Okay. The ministry already has structures. And one of its mandate is to work for the welfare of the children. I therefore want to agree with the committee report that let the children and other sectors be taken back to the ministry so that they can streamline well and work well for the children of this country.
Santa? Hey, there's a Frank.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, while the committee concludes, it puts forward that whereas there is interest in government rationalization, but the children of this country, Uganda, have to have an independent body that will keep in check this government. Right Honorable Speaker, the issues of the children or the generation that we want to create for this country that will come after us and before or after our grandchildren, they need to see that at least this government or this parliament stood firm for the authority that was there to look onto government to see that it does what it has to do. Right Honorable Speaker, the authority informed us that they have never been given a budget to run anything. What they receive is just for the wages and some few administrative costs, meaning it might be intended by this government to keep the authority redundant, and later on they come and
So what is
put
your
it away.
position?
Our position is that we retain the authority, as it will give advice and will keep
So
government in check.
should we
for
take
this.
the Minister of Children also to the authority?
Right Honorable Speaker, the ministry or the Minister for Education for the children and the young people in Uganda is there to see how these agencies work. He is supposed to guide on their operations, but these people have not been having the board to do their work.
Will
across
it
the
cause
country.
any harm if you took this department into gender and be under the Minister of the Children? Will it cause any harm?
Right Honorable Speaker, the reasons that government gave for rationalization was to cut administrative costs.
Actually, we shall have cut it.
No, we are not cutting anything, because, Right Honorable Speaker, this agency has been receiving 325 million every year to cater for only the rent and other things like wages. They have not received any money to carry out any activity in line with looking for our children or looking for how our children can be better served in the country. It is better that we just look on how we can operationalize these agencies than putting them under the ministry where they will not serve the purpose of which they were created.
Samuel, I wish you people would program your minds in a way that agriculture did, that did it serve the purpose, and if it didn't serve the purpose, why don't you go back where it was? Yes, Samuel?
Thank you very much, Right Honourable Speaker. Madam Speaker, I want to agree with the committee that now that we have a minister in charge of children affairs, and we are moving this to the ministry, and the same issue of the children will be taken care of by the ministry, it will be prudent that we move the agency as a department under the ministry to save costs.
Thank you. A motion.
Thank you so
There's
much.
a motion.
Thank you,
Thank
Right
you so
Honourable
much.
Speaker.
Thank you so much.
There's a
Thank you so
motion.
much,
Thank you.
Madam Speaker. I move a motion that since the report of the committee is very clear and the contributions of the members is very clear, we have the ministry in charge of the children affairs. I move that we now go for the second reading, and you put a question, Madam
Seconded.
Speaker.
Seconded by Okiror, by Ayo, Kavanda, the youth. The youth have, the children have seconded. The whole house are seconded. Honorable members, I now put a question that the Children's Amendments Bill 2024 be read the second time. Those in favor say and the contrary nay. The ayes have it.
The Children Amendment Bill 2024, Bills Committee stage. Clause 1.
Honorable members, Honorable Sereko is here intimidating me.
Right, Honorable Speaker, I cannot intimidate you, Madam Chair. And you are aware I cannot. I was only trying to put a point across. And you can pick it here if you want. Of course, definitely.
No, it's okay.
Definitely.
It's okay.
That for the youth council structures.
You're not going.
No, I'm not. No, don't worry. In future, yeah, I know. For the youth council structures, take it. Maybe it may help you. It's okay, but listen to it. It might affect the electoral college that elects the youth councillors and the youth members of parliament. Just take note.
Okay.
Put it in mind.
We've noted it. Okay, okay.
Clause 1.
Clause 1, Chair.
Thanks very much, Chair. Clause 1, amendment of Section 1 of the Principal Act. Clause 1 is amended by substituting the definition of the word ministry for the following. Ministry means the ministry responsible for children affairs. Justification, to clearly capture the relevant ministry in charge of affairs of children and to ensure clarity. I beg to move.
Minister?
No objection.
I put a question that clause 1 be amended as proposed. Those in favor say on the contrary, nay. The ayes have it.
Clause 1 as amended.
I put a question that clause 1 as amended stands part of the bill. Those in favor say on the contrary, nay. The ayes have it. Honorable, both, I want to appoint you to come and stand in for AG. You escort, Tony escort the AG. He wants to accept. Be on record that you have accepted the appointment for now. While you were in the house, you're supporting the house.
Right, Honorable Chair. Thank you for your wise guidance. You've guided me to come and take the right position, because government, there should not be any vacuum in government. Whether the Attorney General is engaged in State House or elsewhere with the traders, the vacuum should not be created. And I accept the challenge and your guidance. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Clause 2.
Clause 2. I put a question that clause 2 stands part of the bill. Those in favor say on the contrary, nay. The ayes have it.
Clause 3.
Clause 3, Chair.
Thanks very much, Chair. Clause 3 is amended by inserting immediately after the word children, the word affairs. Justification. This is in consequential amendment having ratified the definition of the ministry responsible for children and also to ensure clarity.
Honorable Minister?
No objection.
AG?
For the record, my opinion should not be binding here. I'm not holding the proper fort. But as a government, we agree with the position since the minister is.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I put a question that the clause 3 be amended as proposed. Those in favor say on the contrary, nay. The ayes have it.
Clause 3 as amended.
I put a question that clause 3 as amended stands part of the bill. Those in favor say and the contrary nay. The ayes have it.
Clause 4.
I put a question that clause 4 stands part of the bill. Those in favor say and the contrary nay. The ayes have it.
Clause 5.
I put a question that clause 5 stands part of the bill. Those in favor say and the contrary nay. The ayes have it.
Clause 6.
I put a question that clause 6 stands part of the bill. Those in favor say and the contrary nay. The ayes have it.
Clause 7.
Clause 7, Chair.
Thanks, Chair. Clause 7 is amended by substituting it for the following. Amendment of Section 43I of the Principal Act. Section 43I of the Principal Act is amended by substituting by subsection 1 the following. Every person to whom a guardianship order is granted shall within 14 days after the grant of the order register the order with the National Identification and Registration Authority and the Ministry responsible for children. Justification. To harmonize the provision of the amendments to the National Identification and Registration Authority Bill 2024, which you have just passed, wherein all matters relating to the registration of persons, including children, have been transferred from Uganda Registration Service Bureau to the National Identification and Registration Authority. Secondly, also to avoid ambiguity in the law. I beg to move.
Thank you. Yes, Honorable.
Chair, I just want clarity on that because we are decentralized registration to go to NIRA. But we have also we are doing a double registration here. There's a registration also, NIRA and the Ministry for Children. So are we going to run 2 registers? That's what I want. Just clarity.
We are moving into LEERO. It is consistent with what we passed on the Persons Act. It is consistent with the NIRA, URSB, and this one. So we are centralizing.
On the period?
14 days.
That's okay.
Yes. Minister?
I agree with it,
Thank
except
you.
that for consequential amendment, after children, there should be affairs, because earlier we had defined
Children's affairs.
Yes, responsible for children affairs. So we add the word affairs after children.
So you're making an amendment?
Yes.
Is that okay?
To be consistent, yes.
Chair, agree.
AG?
This is good exercise. We concede.
Thank you. I put a question that clause 7 be amended as proposed by the Minister of Gender with an inclusion of children's affairs. Those in favor say and the contrary nay. The ayes have it.
Clause 7 as amended.
I put a question that clause 7 as amended stands part of the bill. Those in favor say and to the contrary nay. The ayes have it.
Clause 8.
Chair.
Thanks, Chair. Clause 8 is amended by inserting immediately after the word registrar the words of birth and death. Justification. To capture the title of the registrar as it is in the Principal Act, also to ensure clarity. I beg to move.
Minister.
Concur.
AG.
Right, Honorable Chair, it makes sense and is really consequential.
Thank you. I put a question that clause 8 be amended as proposed. Those in favor say and the contrary nay. The ayes have it.
Clause 8 as amended.
I put a question that clause 8 as amended stands part of the bill. Those in favor say and the contrary nay. The ayes have it.
Clause 9.
I put a question that clause 9 stands part of the bill. Those in favor say and the contrary nay. The ayes have it.
Clause 10.
Clause 10.
Thanks, Chair. Clause 10 is amended by inserting immediately after the word children, the word affairs. B, deleting subsection 3. and C, deleting subsection 4. Then D, inserting immediately after subsection 4 the following. 1, the staff of the authority serving immediately before the commencement of the act shall be deployed to serve in the public service.
We agreed we should not use the word shall.
May. You are right. Thanks very much, Chair. Justification, this is a consequential amendment having rectified the definition of the ministry responsible for children. The board of the authority has never been operationalized since the enactment of the Children's Amendment Act 2016, and so there was no directors of the board in place. To ensure clarity, to ensure that the staff of the former National Children Authority who have expertise in the affairs of children are absorbed in the services of the benefit of supporting the efforts of protecting may be observed. Yes, may be absorbed for the benefit of supporting the efforts of protecting the rights of the children. I beg to move with those points.
Thank you. Yes.
Thank you very much, Chair. Chair, in reading this particular clause and reading the certificate of financial implication, I want to inquire from the chairperson, exactly what are you saving? Because the certificate of financial implication talks about this children's authority being merged into a national secretariat, and the cost has been 311 million. Now, you are not telling us what exactly you are chewing by this amendment, because some of this staff are going to be employed in the secretariat. So the certificate is not clear itself.
We have passed the stage. We are at committee.
Right Honorable Chair, I think you guided, because really, Honorable Sarah Pendi, my woman, my MP who represents the women and men from Tororo, is a senior member of this House. She is smuggling a phrase which should have been at the main debate when we're debating. Because right now, I think she lost that opportunity. But
your woman came late and just wanted to smuggle in to debate.
Thank you.
When people like Macho
you've
had
already
been here longer.
Much obliged. Thank you for your guidance. Yeah.
Thank you. Sarah, you sit. Honorable Minister.
I concur.
Make for me an amendment. Where they shall, it will be may.
Honorable Chair, I beg to move that under clause 10(1), the word shall be replaced with the word may.
Thank you. I put a question that clause 10 be amended as proposed by the Honorable Minister of Gender. Those in favor say on the contrary, nay. The ayes have it.
Clause 10 as amended.
I put a question that clause 10 as amended stands part of the bill. Those in favor say aye, and the contrary, nay. I have not heard. The ayes have it.
Title.
I put a question that the title stands part of the bill. Those in favor say and the contrary, nay. The ayes have it. Sarah, please leave my guest. Sarah, your seat is somewhere there. Sarah, you're my brother.
Motion for resumption of the House.
Honorable Minister.
Honorable Chair, I beg to move that the House do resume and the Committee of the Whole House reports thereto.
I put a question that the House does resume and the Committee of the Whole House reports there too. Those in favor say and the contrary nay. The ayes have it.
Report of the Committee of the Whole House.
Minister.
Madam Speaker, I beg to report that the Committee of the Whole House has considered the bill, the Children Amendment Bill 2024, and passed it with amendments.
Thank you.
Motion for adoption of the report of the Committee of the Whole House.
Honorable Minister.
Madam Speaker, I beg to move that the report from the Committee of the Whole House be adopted.
I put a question that the report of the Committee of the Whole House be adopted by this august House. Those in favor say and to the contrary nay. The ayes have it.
Bills third reading. The Children Amendment Bill 2024.
Honorable Minister.
Madam Speaker, I beg to move that the bill entitled the Children's Amendment Bill 2024 be read the third time and do pass.
I put a question that the Children Amendment Bill 2024 be read the third time and do pass. Those in favor say and to the contrary nay. The ayes have it.
A bill for an act titled the Children Amendment Act 2024.
Title settled and the bill passed. Congratulations. Next.
Bill second reading, the National Youth Council Amendment Bill 2024.
Women. Let's first start with women.
Bill second reading, the National Women's Council Amendment Bill 2024.
Honorable Minister.
Right Honorable Speaker, I beg to move that the bill entitled the National Women's Council Amendment Bill 2024 be read the second time.
Is the motion seconded? Seconded by Honorable Helen Asamo, the Minister of Disability, Stephen Kahonda, Atiang, Nathan, Pastor, Ojok, all the women and the men. Yes, including Sarah. Including Sarah. Tamaguzi, the chairman of women. No, Honorable Tamaguzi Semakola, would you love to speak to that motion?
Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker and honorable members. The National Women Council is elected from the village up to national level. Constitutionally, it has the National Women Council, which is the democratic arm of that. It also has a secretariat which serves the National Women Council, and we have about 5 councils, and government deems it fit that we have a powerful national secretariat. We are not dissolving the democratically elected structure. the council that are elected from the village level to the national level will remain as it is for all the councils. The only thing that is being merged is to have one secretariat, well facilitated, that will be serving all the council and undertaking the mandate of ensuring that they function and they are coordinated effectively. So I request that this House accept to grant this national secretariat, which will be more visible, more powerful to serve the councils. I beg to move.
Thank you so much. Could you also move for the youth? Yes,
In
it is the same thing.
In the same vein, I beg to move that the bill, the National Youth Council Amendment Bill 2024, be read the second time.
Seconded? Seconded? Yes, seconded. Now we are on youth. I can see you sitting. Linda, you're tired. Now, Dennis. It is seconded by the whole House. Would you love to speak to it again?
Again, the National Youth Council is a council elected right from the village to the national level, and they have a structure that elects the youth members of parliament in this House. We are not interfering with the democratically elected structure. We are only merging the secretariat and make it more visible, more funded, more coordinated, more efficient as one national secretariat. I request that you support.
Thank you. So can you give us a brief report on youth councils? Brief.
Thanks very much, Chairperson, for this opportunity for me to give a brief report on the Gender, Labor and Social Development of the National Women's Council Amendment Bill 2024. But before I proceed, Chair, allow me, I beg to move to lay on table the minutes and the report.
Thank you.
I start with the women before I proceed to the children. Chair, I will try to be quick. The introduction is that the National Women's Council Amendment Bill was read for the first time on 9th April 2024 and referred to our committee. The background to the bill is already noted by the members. They have read it. Objective of the bill, the main objective of the bill is to give effect to the government policy for rationalization.
The minister has already spoken to the objective.
Yes.
Can you go to
the methodology
observations?
is already the same as others. Rationale for the mergers, it is the same. I think I go now straight to implications. Chair, implication of rationalization in light of affirmative action. During the interaction with the National Women's Council, the committee was informed that the proposed rationalization of social development sector will have the following negative implications. Negative effect on affirmative action. Affirmative action involves complex measures in favor of marginalized groups in order to redress imbalances, which may take years to impact society. Representative of the different councils noted that Uganda had been making progress in this area, but challenges remain. They add that the merging of the secretariat of the councils to reverse the progress. That was the ideas we got from the committee of the council. Moreover, Uganda's notable progress in the affirmative action measures has made the country a leading example for other countries to benchmark on the best practices. 2, generalization of gender issues. Stakeholders contend that merging secretariats will lose the unique aspects of each council, leading to some issues being neglected or forgotten. Unique funding needs could also be ignored or undermined under this arrangement. For example, the multiple types of disability with their need for unique assistance services may be lost in the process. Yes. Yeah. Potential effects on compliance on international instruments. The Social Sector Council secretariats work towards implementation of various human rights instruments that government is signatory to, which work may be compromised by the merger. These include United Nations Sustainability Development Goals, Agenda 2063, the Convention on the Elimination of All Forms of Discrimination Against Women, the International Covenant on Civil and Political Rights, International Covenant on Economic, Social, and Cultural Rights, Convention on the Rights of Persons with Ability. They just go together. Loss of jobs and further marginalization. The bill in the relevant clauses states that staff of the councils may be redeployed subject to availability of position. This implies that some people may lose their jobs if no positions are available. Hence, further marginalization persons of these groups currently employed. Potential loss of specialized skills. The Parliament's ad hoc committee and rationalization in 2022 report noted that the potential to lose specialized skills and labor as personnel could also opt out to be merged institutions and join the private sector. So we didn't want to lose that. Potential lapse on the social development. The sector exists primarily for promotion of social development of Uganda's peoples, and the current structure tries to ensure inclusively in the planning of all Ugandans.
Procedure matter.
Thank you very much, Honourable Speaker.
Yes, Minister of Sports.
Yeah. Since we have already have that report on our iPads and we have read it and understand it well, why don't we go to the committee stage, right, Honourable Speaker?
Is that? Yes.
Chair, I beg for your indulgence. Let me straight go to the recommendations, observations and recommendations. Effect on the GROW project. The committee observed that, that the generating growth opportunities and productivity for women enterprises GROW project worth $218 million under Ministry of Gender has already lost 1 year out of the 5 years, and the rationalization may cause further delay by not specifying the structure for special interest groups, especially the National Council for Women that is part of the implementation structure. Recommendation: the structure for National Secretariat for Special Interest Groups should be expedited so that no more time is lost on the implementation of the GROW project. Conclusion: notwithstanding government's decision to rationalize government agencies, and that includes the National Women's Council, the committee strongly argues that women, being a marginalized group in a society and highly vulnerable to mistreatment and exploitation, it is the committee's fear that the Secretariat to assist all councils of special interest groups in fulfillment of their mandate would diminish their attention to the unique needs and challenges of women. This is also in line with the recommendation of the Parliamentary Ad hoc Committee, which was passed in this House some time back. I beg to submit.
Thank you so much. Just a small observation. And this is to the clerk, to show you that the clerk who wrote this report is an amateur. You cannot say the committee report be adopted. This committee report is informative. We don't take decisions based on committee report. It is an informative report. And I need to know the clerk who writes such reports. The one who wrote the one of agriculture needs a reward. Yes, yes, honorable members. Tony, Tony.
Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker. Right Honorable Speaker, as we process rationalization, I think we should not forget that government plays the central role in the operations of most of these agencies. And we had looked at saving money, bringing money, duplication, and efficiency. Now, on the Women Council, Right Honorable Speaker, if the democratic process, election from village to national level, is allowed, then only the Secretariat to run operations of this special interest group. What would be the problem? In any case, like Parliament, when we were elected, Parliament is here supported by the Secretariat, headed by the clerk, and operation is running. And they provide technical support and advice for operations. So the Secretariat will be providing technical. Now, when you provide here an argument that the GROW program is going to be delayed, I think this is very wrong and misleading. First of all, was the GROW program brought in by the council, Women Council? No, it is government through the ministry. So I think I would urge my colleagues, this is even the same thing with the youth and elderly and persons with disability, so that we save ourselves of this ping pong of arguing on things that may not add much value, and then we move faster. These are straightforward things, Right Honorable. Right Honorable Speaker, I therefore wish to move the motion that, having listened to the committee and seen the value of mainstreaming or bringing these special interest groups to the ministry, I move that question be put and we move to second reading of the motion.
Thank you. I put a question. Is it seconded? Yes. Seconded by Okwiri, by Margaret, by Koluo, by landlord. I put a question that the National Women Council Amendment Bill 2024 be read for the second time. Those in favor say and the contrary nay. Aye. The ayes have it.
The
Honorable members will rationalize whatever does not bring in money. Whatever takes out money, will rationalize. If you're talking about coffee that you have been talking about, there you have some, but now this one, that is a spending body. And we are saying, let's take it to the ministry where it is. Let's do a give and take. We are serving a government. Pilau, what do you think?
I want to give you some more information.
PLU.
I want to give you some information.
Right Honorable Speaker, it shouldn't just be about money alone, but also the morals. If there are institutions that nurture our people, it shouldn't always be about money. Like the youth council.
That is the reason the committee has given.
Yeah, because the recommendations of the committee, yes, sometimes I can agree with them, but it shouldn't just be alone about money, but also the morals. If there is an institution like youth councils, women councils that are nurturing leaders, future leaders from the village, that's why nowadays you have people who are not nurtured, but because there is a certain wave, they just come and become leaders. These women councils have been nurturing people from the village, sub-county, parish, district, and we end up having some here. So some of these councils can be thought about and see how they can be protected by this parliament.
They're only having a secretariat.
Because
housing a secretariat.
That one I am happy to hear about it, because the Attorney General
no.
was saying they should create a department.
No. They are having their secretariat.
We can have a secretariat and also
and
leave
they are
youth
having
council
their
alone.
secretariat under the minister
Okay, I
of women, of gender.
Of gender.
Yes.
Okay. Information. From
No, I'm not giving you.
Okay.
The National Women's Council Amendment Bill 2024, Bills Committee stage.
New clothes. Chair.
Thanks very much, Chair. Chair, the bill is amended by inserting new clause immediately before clause 1 as follows. Commencement. This act shall come into force on a date appointed by the minister by statutory instrument. Justification to give room for the process of rationalization to take effect, and to fast track the efforts of establishing the National Secretariat for Special Interest Groups and administrative functions and structures so that implementation of the projects like a GROW project are not also delayed.
Implementation of projects.
I want to put it on record that the GROW project is not under the National Women Council. The GROW project is a World Bank project which is under the ministry with 2 departments of gender and labor managing it and private sector foundation. And at the moment, progress has been made which will bring on the floor of Parliament. So to justify, based on
One project,
which is even not under the council, I think is misleading.
But are you in agreement with the new clause? Commencement.
Commencement, I think, is okay.
Yes, yeah. That is okay. Commencement is okay. We are removing the justification of GROW and leaving it to projects. I put a question that the proposed new clause stands part of the bill. Those in favor say and the contrary nay. The ayes have it.
Clause 1.
I put a question that clause 1 stands part of the bill. Those in favor say and the contrary nay. The ayes have it.
Clause 2.
I put a question that clause 2 stands part of the bill. Those in favor say and the contrary nay. The ayes have it.
Clause 3.
I put a question that clause 3 stands part of the bill. Those in favor say and the contrary nay. The ayes have it.
Clause 4.
I put a question that clause 4 stands part of the bill. Those in favor say and the contrary nay. The ayes have it.
Clause 5.
Clause 5, Chair.
Thanks, Chair. Clause 5 of the bill is amended by substituting for the proposed section 9 of the following. Secretariat. There is established a secretariat to be known. There is established a secretariat to be known as the National Secretariat for Special Interest Groups. 2, the National Secretariat for Special Interest Groups shall be the secretariat for all the councils of the special interest groups created under this act and in any other law. The minister shall, by statutory instrument, prescribe the functions of the secretariat. The National Secretariat for Special Interest Groups shall be composed of a secretary and the other staff. The other staff of the National Secretariat for Special Interest Group may be employed from among the staff of the council.
Yes.
Yes. And
May.
And last, public officers may be seconded to the service of the National Secretariat for Special Interest Groups or may otherwise give assistance to the Secretariat. Chair, the number 7, we are deleting it. We are stopping with that. I beg to submit.
Thank you. Minister. Yes, wherever they shall will be replaced by may.
I concur with the amendment, especially under 5, where what is contained in the report has been remodified by the chair. Thank you.
Where they shall will be replaced by may, except in 2 and 3, where it says the minister shall, by statutory instrument, prescribe the functions of the secretariat. Then 2, the National Secretariat for Special Interest Groups shall be the secretariat of the councils of special interest groups created under this act and any other law. Is that okay? I put a question that the clause 5 be amended as proposed with the replacement of may instead of shall, with the exception of clause 2 and 3. Those in favor say, and to the contrary, nay. The ayes have it.
Clause 5 as amended.
I put a question that clause 5 as amended stands part of the bill. Those in favor say, and the contrary, nay. The ayes have it.
Clause 6.
Clause 6.
Thanks, Chair. Clause 6. Repeal Section 10 of the Principal Act. For clause 6, they is substituted for the following. Amendment of Section 10 of the Principal Act. Section 10 of the Principal Act is amended A by substituting for the subsection 1 the following. The minister shall, in consultation with the National Women Executive Committee, the National Youth Executive Committee, the Persons with Disability Council, and the National Council for Older Persons, appointing a secretary for the National Secretariat for Special Interest Groups. Yes. B, in subsection 5, by substituting for the word council, the words the councils of special interest groups. Yes. C, inserting a new subsection immediately after subsection 7 as follows. For purposes of section 9 and 10, special interest groups means women, youth, older persons, and persons with disability. National Council for Older Persons are the meaning under section 5 of the National Council for Older Persons 2013. National Women Executive Committee has the meaning under section 8 of the National Women Council Act Cap 318. National Youth Executive Committee has the meaning under section 9 of the National Youth Council Act Cap 319. Persons with Disability Council has the meaning under section 20 of the Persons with Disability Act 2020. Justification: this is a consequential amendment following the merging of the secretariats of the councils for special interest groups into one secretariat. 2, to ensure equal representation for all the councils on the National Secretariat for Special Interest Groups.
Honorable Minister.
I have no objection because the current practice and in the current acts of the various council, the executives nominates, approves, and recommend to the minister, so the spirit is the same.
Thank you. Honorable Minister, is that okay? Yeah. You be
The Minister of Gender has been ably advised.
Thank you.
And we concede.
Thank you. I put a question that clause 6 be amended as proposed. Those in favor say and the contrary nay. The ayes have it.
Clause 6 as amended.
I put a question that clause 6 as amended stands part of the bill. Those in favor say and the contrary nay. The ayes have it.
Clause 7.
Clause 7.
Thanks, Chair. Clause 7, they substituted the following. Substitution of Section 11 of the Principal Act. For Section 11 of the Principal Act, it is substituted the following. Functions of the Secretary. 1, the Secretary shall be the Chief Executive Officer and the Accounting Officer of all the councils for special interest groups. 2, subject to the general control of the Minister, the Secretary shall A, act as the Secretary of all the councils of special interest groups and record the minutes at those meetings. B, be responsible for the implementation of the policy decisions of all the councils of special interest groups and for the day-to-day administration of the affairs of the council of special interest groups and control of the other staff of the Secretariat. 3, where the office of the Secretary is vacant or where the Secretary is unable to perform the functions of his or her office by reason of illness, absence, or any other reason, the Minister may designate an office of the National Secretariat for special interest groups qualified as required under Section 10 to perform those functions until the vacancy in the office is filled or until the Secretary is able to resume the performance of those functions. I move. Justification, consequential amendments following the merging.
Minister.
I concede.
Thank you. I put a question that the proposed amendment in clause 7 be approved. Those in favor say and the contrary nay. The ayes have it.
Clause 7 as amended.
I put the question that the clause 7 as amended stands part of the bill. Those in favor say and the contrary nay. The ayes have it.
Clause 8.
I put a question that clause 8 stands part of the bill. Those in favor say and the contrary nay. The ayes have it.
Clause 9.
I put a question that clause 9 stands part of the bill. Those in favor say and the contrary nay. The ayes have it.
Clause 10.
Clause 10.
Chair, clause 10 is amended in subsection 2 by substituting for the word may to the word shall and the words public service for the words National Secretariat for Special Interest Groups. Justification. To guarantee employment for staff that are already serving in the respective councils, given the fact that with the merging of the Secretariat of the Council into one, there will still be an opportunity for the current staff to be absorbed. 2, to harness and capitalize on the already existing expertise and experience in serving councils for special interest groups. I move.
Thank you, Minister.
I concede because the principle of safeguarding workers' rights is still within our ministry and we have no problem.
And it shouldn't be shall but may. I put the question that the clause 10 be amended as proposed. Those in favor say and the contrary nay.
Clause
10
as amended.
I put a question that clause 10 as amended stands part of the bill. Those in favor say and the contrary nay. The ayes have it.
Title.
I put a question that the title stands part of the bill. Those in favor say and the contrary nay. The ayes have it.
Motion for resumption of the House.
Honorable Minister.
Madam Chair, I beg to move that the House do resume and the Committee of the Whole House reports thereto.
I put a question that the House does resume and the Committee of the Whole House reports thereto. Those in favor say aye and the contrary nay. The ayes have it.
Report of the Committee of the Whole House.
Honorable Minister. Honorable Minister. Honorable members, these interest groups will only be housed in gender. The persons managing them is a secretary. Secretary will be responsible. The minister almost has nothing apart from that is the same. It is executive secretary. Who? Let's first get this one. This is an executive secretary. No, it is a correction, executive secretary. Executive secretary.
The principal law has executive secretary, and there's no amendment to the principal law. So even if 4 remains as secretary, it will be construed as executive secretary.
What matters is the definition of the roles. The definitions of the roles lie under that person. The minister's work is only to house the secretariat of all the interest groups.
Motion for adoption of the report of the Committee of the Whole House.
Honorable Minister.
Madam Speaker, I beg to move that the report of the Committee of the Whole House, that the Committee of the Whole House has considered the bill entitled the National Women's Amendment Bill and passed it with amendments.
Thank you.
Motion for adoption of the report of the Committee of the Whole House.
Madam Speaker, I beg to move that the report from the Committee of the Whole House be adopted.
I put a question that the report of the Committee of the Whole House be adopted by this August House. Those in favor say and the contrary nay. The ayes have it.
Bill's third reading, the National Women's Council Amendment Bill 2024.
Honorable Minister.
Madam Speaker, I beg to move that the bill entitled the National Women's Council Amendment Bill 2024 be read the third time and do pass.
I put a question that the National Women's Council Amendment Bill 2024 be read the third time and do pass. Those in favor say and the contrary nay. The ayes have it.
A bill for an act titled the National Women's Council Amendment Act 2024.
Title settled and the bill passed. Thank you. Youth. Youth.
Thanks, Chair. I thank you for the opportunity to submit the report on the Committee on Gender, Labour and Social Development on the National Youth Council Amendment Bill 2024. Chair, before I proceed, I beg to lay on table the minutes and the report.
Thank you.
Chair and honourable members, I straight away go to the objective of the bill. The main objective of this bill is to give effect to the government policy to rationalization of government agencies and public expenditure adopted by the Cabinet on 22nd February 2021 and contained in Cabinet Mint number 43 as others. The methodology, you have already got it. I go to the rationale for the merger. Government has put forward the following argument to justify the nationalization of government agencies, including the rapid expansion of government agencies in Uganda has resulted in a number of problems, including unclear jurisdiction, excessive expenditure of the national treasury at the expense of efficient service delivery, overstretching of the government's ability to serve and salary differences between agents and employees. These issues have also led to the wastage of resources that could have been used to fund other vital public services like health, education, and infrastructure development. According to the government, the councils under the social development sector carry out similar mandates, and therefore, the administrative structures should be merged into one unit, the National Secretariat for Special Interest Groups. Implications of rationalization. Okay. Thanks, Chair. I think since the members have been giving the same reports, I now go to the committee observations and recommendations. Observations first. Loss of expertise of technical officers. The country will lose out on highly experienced technical officers because the bill does not guarantee that they will be redeployed in the National Secretariat. Recommendation. Government should give priority to the technical experts and the highly skilled while staffing the National Secretariat, so that government does not lose on the return on investment. We are agreeing on the creation of the one National Secretariat, but we are saying those people with technical know-how, government should consider them. Inadequate consultation of stakeholders. The National Youth Council, who are key stakeholders, were not consulted on the nationalization process, although the Commissioner, Equity and Compliance represented the Ministry on the work group. Recommendation. The Ministry of Public Service should, in future, carry out adequate consultation with all the relevant stakeholders, especially with the implementation of structures prior to formation of this bill. We are in support of the bill, but we are saying in the future they should do some massive consultation. In conclusion, the committee associates itself with the findings of the ad hoc committee, which was constituted to consider the rationalization of government agencies, that the Secretary of Council should not be rationalized in such a way, but be considerate while employing some manpower. The committee therefore praised that the country's milestone in affirmative action and protection for marginalized groups, and that include the youth, should be prioritized by government through strengthening the councils. Remember, the councils are still in existence for special interest groups, increasing funding and adequately staffing the National Secretariat. We are in support for special interest group that is being created under this act. You can see in this conclusion, we are strengthening the councils and also making sure that the special interest groups be created under this act, under this national.
But one comfort that we get is that all the secretariats are basically being housed under the ministry, under each minister. The youth will be under the Minister of Youth, the women, the what, it's not going to be absorbed, but they will have an executive secretary that will be managing the secretariat. That is. No. You know, no. There is a minister is defined as a minister responsible for that docket. That is Honorable
Right Honorable Speaker, the clarification I am seeking from the chair of the committee and the minister, because when you say that these special interest groups are going to be under one secretariat and they are going to be housed under the minister.
Ministry of Gender.
Ministry
of Gender, which has several ministers.
So the Minister for Youth there is not responsible for the other secretariat?
No.
It is the Minister for Gender?
It is the ministry.
Other clarification?
Daudi, it is under the Ministry of Gender. Yes.
Right Honourable Speaker, the clarification that
Minister
you were
of
trying
Gender.
to raise, Right Honourable Speaker, the current status is that there has been an executive secretary for every council, National Youth Council, National Women Council, and all the other councils. So what we want to know, because they have all been under the Ministry of Gender, Labour and Social Development. Now what we want to know, what is that government is changing, and what is it that we are saving? So
They are integrating them. They are integrating them. Laura.
Right Honourable Speaker, I wanted to give information. Currently, all the councils have different executive secretaries, and they have secretariats. And that's what government is removing or merging. So we are going to have one executive secretary who is going to be under Ministry of Gender. That's what the Right Honourable Speaker is explaining. But we also have our ministers for disability, for youth, for children, etc., etc. So we shall have one executive secretary sitting in the Ministry of Gender, Labour and Social Development.
A one-stop center.
Yes.
Of all the persons, special interest groups. Honorable members, yes.
Thank you very much, Right Honourable Speaker. Right Honourable Speaker, I just want to inform the House that under the National Youth Act, the minister means the minister responsible for youth affairs. That is what it is stated in the interpretation clause, and therefore it does not change anything. We are not amending that part. Thank you. As the Right Honourable Speaker has said,
Honorable Kavanda, Daudi, I know you're within that youth age. A minister responsible for youth affairs is the Minister of Youth, but the Secretariat is under the ministry. There's a difference between a Ministry of Gender vis-a-vis a minister responsible for youth, responsible for disability, responsible for children like Daudi. Daudi, you have not heard. I'm saying there's a minister of children responsible for children like Daudi. Honorable members, let's continue.
Right Honourable Speaker, I'm also affirming to your submission that we are reducing costs by reducing on the secretariats and having one secretariat. Yes.
Honorable members, I put a question, the National Youth Council Amendment Bill 2024 be read the second time. Those in favor say aye, to the contrary, nay. The ayes have it, even Daudi has said aye. You are not only the only Daudi. Hey.
The National Youth Council Amendment Bill 2024, Bills Committee stage.
New clause. New clause.
Thanks, Chair. The insertion of the new clause. The bill is amended by inserting a new clause immediately before clause 1 as follows. Commencement. Youth Council.
Yes, this is here.
Yes. The Act shall come into force on a date appointed by the Minister by statutory instrument. Justification to give room for the process of the rationalization to take effect.
Honorable Minister.
No objection.
I put the question that the proposed new clause stands part of the bill. Those in favor say aye, and to the contrary nay. That is on the commencement.
Clause 1.
Clause 1, I put a question that clause 1 stands part of the bill. Those in favor say on the contrary nay. The ayes have it.
Clause 2.
I put a question that clause 2 stands part of the bill. Those in favor say on the contrary nay. The ayes have it.
Clause 3.
I put a question that clause 3 stands part of the bill. Those in favor say on the contrary nay. The ayes have it.
Clause 4.
I put a question that clause 4 stands part of the bill. Those in favor say on the contrary nay. The ayes have it.
Clause 5.
I put a question that clause 5 stands part of the bill. Those in favor say on the contrary nay. The ayes have it.
Clause 6.
Clause 6, Chair.
Thanks, Chair. Clause 6, there is substituted the following. Clause 6 of the bill is amended by substituting for the proposed section 11 the following: Secretariat. The Secretariat of the National Youth Council shall be the National Secretariat for Special Interest Groups created under Section 5 of the National Women's Council Amendment Act 2024. Justification: to give effect to the process of nationalization of government agencies by merging the secretariats of all special interest groups into one secretariat. 2, to ensure that all the councils for special interest groups are given a fair opportunity to participate in the recruitment of the staff who are to assist the councils in fulfilling their mandates under their respective laws. I move.
You're stopping in that?
Chair, another justification is to ensure that council don't lose their autonomous status guaranteed under the respective laws.
Yes.
The proposal is in line with the spirit of the ad hoc committee, and also lastly to give clarity on the mandate of the National Secretariat for special interest groups. I move.
Are you done? You want a clarification?
Thank you, Chair, for giving clarification. Right Honourable Speaker and Honourable Chair, why the National Youth Council exists? It is a very unique and special
Which
group.
clause? Which clause?
On this clause we are
Which
on.
clause? Honorable Solomon.
Right, Honorable Speaker. I wish I could be given opportunity, but
Honorable Solomon, ye holo commissioner.
right, Honorable Speaker, I
Yeah.
wish I would be given the opportunity
I am
to explain the clause I'm talking about.
You are a holo
But
commissioner.
I will sit.
Honorable Minister.
No objection.
I put a question that the clause 6 be amended as proposed. Those in favor say and the contrary nay. The ayes have it.
Clause 6 as amended.
I put a question that clause 6 as amended stands part of the bill. Those in favor say and the contrary nay. The ayes have it.
Clause 7.
I put a question that clause 7 stands part of the bill. Those in favor say and the contrary nay. The ayes have it.
Clause 8.
8, Chair.
Chair, we are not amending 8. Chair, with 8, we have cancelled it. Chair, for clause 8, we have decided to retain what is in the bill.
Clause 8. I put a question that clause 8 stands part of the bill. Those in favor say and the contrary nay. The ayes have it.
Clause 9.
Clause 9. I put a question that clause 9 stands part of the bill. Those in favor say and the contrary nay. The ayes have it.
Clause 10.
Clause 10.
Chair, clause 10, savings. Clause 10 is amended in subsection 2 by substituting for the word may and the words public service for the words National Secretariat for Special Interest Groups. Justification: to guarantee employment for staff that are already serving the respective councils, given the fact that with the merging of the Secretariat of the councils into one, there will still be an opportunity for the current staff to be absorbed. 2, to harness and capitalize on the already existing expertise and experience in serving councils for the special interest groups, as we have done in other clauses. I thank you.
May, not shall. I put a question that the clause 10 be amended as proposed with the replacement of may, not shall. Those in favor say and the contrary nay. The ayes have it.
Clause 10 as amended.
I put a question that clause 10 as amended stands part of the bill. Those in favor say and the contrary nay. The ayes have it.
Title.
Title, I put a question that the title stands part of the bill. Those in favor say and the contrary nay. The ayes have it.
Motion for resumption of the House.
Madam Chair, I beg to move that the House do resume and the Committee of the Whole House reports thereto.
I put a question that the House resumes and the Committee of the Whole House reports thereto. Those in favor say and the contrary nay. The ayes have it.
Report of the Committee of the Whole House.
Honorable Minister.
Madam Speaker, I beg to report that the Committee of the Whole House has considered the bill entitled the National Youth Council Amendment Bill 2024 and passed it with amendments.
Motion for adoption of the report of the Committee of the Whole House.
Honorable Minister.
Madam Speaker, I beg to move that the report from the Committee of the Whole House be adopted.
I put a question that the report of the Committee of the Whole House be adopted by this House. Those in favor say on the contrary, nay. The ayes have it.
Bill's third reading, the National Youth Council Amendment Bill 2024.
Honorable Minister.
Madam Speaker, I beg to move that the bill entitled the National Youth Council Amendment Bill 2024 be read the third time and do pass.
I put a question that the National Youth Council Amendment Bill 2024 be read the third time and do pass. Those in favor say on the contrary, nay. The ayes have it.
A bill for an act titled the National Youth Council Amendment Act 2024.
Title settled and the bill has been passed. Congratulations. Honorable members, in the public gallery this afternoon we have a delegation from the National Youth Council led by the National Chairperson, G'EBYENFUNA. And they have come to observe the proceedings. And one thing that we can, please stand up, the youth. One thing we need to assure you is that you are protected. You're protected. You will now belong to directly to your Minister of Youth and Children. Your secretariat will only be under the Ministry of Gender, but you're directly under your minister. Yes, PL.
Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker, for that clarification, because anyway, the bill has passed. It is now a collective responsibility for all of us. I just want to seek clarification, Right Honorable Speaker, from the Minister of Gender. We want assurance, to give assurance to the country, because I don't want to debate the committee observation and recommendation, because they said the youth councils were not consulted. I just don't want to go back there. But I just want the minister to give assurance to the country and to these youth councils whether, because now we have a minister, Honorable Barambarugahara, who is a member of my PLU, we just want assurance from you whether these special interest groups are going to be funded independently, or they are going to be under one secretary, like you said. One.
Right Honorable Speaker.
I didn't know that PLU works like this, by touching a minister and pushing a minister. Right Honorable Speaker, like
Honorable Minister, given the plight of the youth, especially from fishing communities, we want to know, we want to get the assurance from you, now that you are merging the Youth Council into a secretariat, how the secretariat will pay special attention to vulnerable youth.
It is not being merged, it is integrating the different interest groups.
Yeah, I want to know how the interest of the youth, in particularly the vulnerable youth, especially from fishing communities, shall be addressed.
Honorable members, Honorable members,
The bill must point to the future.
Rose, just advise your neighbor that we have youth MPs. We have youth MPs who are here, and the youth MPs will ensure that their constituencies are covered. Rose, it is okay. It's okay, Rose.
Thank you. But Right Honorable Speaker, just a word. Honestly, we're working on the law. And without the law, there is no way we can apportion resources. And I want my colleagues not to work in a lacuna, in an open space without the law. So therefore, this is a parliament. We are not in the market. We are handling issues of the government and youth, and we are catering for everybody. Thank you.
Clarification.
Honorable members, on the issues of budgeting, on appropriation, it is still this house that does appropriation. We will appropriate money to different. First of all, we will appropriate money to the Ministry of Gender. And the Ministry of Gender, we will have money that goes to the youth. We will have money that goes to the persons with disabilities. We will have money that goes to the women. We will have money that goes to older persons. Okay?
Clarification.
That is what we are going to do. And if it means ring fencing, we shall ring fence.
Clarification.
Right Honorable Speaker, you are right. I want to first.
Clarification.
First leave the youth. You know that is his constituency.
I want to first reaffirm that the councils have not been affected. What does this mean? The structure proposed is that the executive secretary is the accounting officer of the secretariat. Under the executive secretary is the department aided by a program manager in charge of youth, women, persons with disability, older persons. The Act permits each of these council to approve their budget. So they will be approving their budget in their council, giving it to their program manager, and the head of the secretariat bring the budget, and they will still have a subvention, because at the moment, each of these has a subvention. So even when their money is appropriated, the ministry is just a conduit and sends it to their vote. That's why under this law, we have preserved that the executive secretary is the accounting officer of the national secretariat of the special interest group. So I want to allay your fears, not the PS of gender. So the subvention will remain, and each of the departments under their council will budget for the council activities as it is now, and it will be only presented as one, not individually. So there's no worry. We commit to ensuring that this and the supervision of the council remains with the sector ministers. So plow.
Clarification.
Patriotic League of Uganda.
Clarification.
Plow.
Clarification.
The Minister of State for Youth and Children's Affairs is in charge of the Youth and Children Affairs, and his budget will be worked together with the National Youth Council. They are seated here, and he will be in charge.
Honorable Youth.
Thank you very much, Right Honorable Speaker. I appreciate you because I've finally caught your eye, but long after the bill has been disposed of. But Right Honorable Speaker, I've looked at the certificate for financial implication, I've noticed that the saving that we are making is a saving of about 700 and Right Honorable Speaker, we are making a saving of 742 million Uganda shillings going by the certificate of financial implication. Right Honorable Speaker, what I need, the clarification that I need from the Minister clearly is whether this saving will be used directly to empower the structures that still exist. That assurance we need very, very clearly, that the costs that you'll save from the administration of 742 million will certainly be used to increase the budget of the National Youth Council.
Honorable member, I want to refer you to Rule 87. I refer you to Rule 87. And when we legislate in this House, we legislate based on what is in the rules. That rules is like our Bible in this House.
Right.
Next item.
Bill's second reading. The Persons with Disabilities Amendment Bill 2024.
Honorable Minister.
Madam Speaker, I beg to move that the bill entitled the Persons with Disabilities Amendment Bill 2024 be read the second time.
Seconded? Is it seconded? Seconded with, by Honorable Minister of Disability, by Laura. By acting in law, by everybody in the House. How can you say it when you... Is it seconded? Let everybody stand up to second disability. He's a sponsor. Thank you. Seconded by the whole House. Would you love to speak to it?
Madam Speaker, in the same spirit, this bill is saving the structure that are democratically elected and only merging the council. And in the bill, at an appropriate time, there is a small error which was made under 32 that will correct. So the same justification is that it's been merged under one National Secretariat of the Special Interest Groups, and I've already articulated the rationale. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Could you also move for
Bill second reading?
Older persons.
The National Council for Older Persons Amendment Bill 2024.
Honorable Minister.
Madam Speaker, I beg to move that the bill entitled the National Council for Older Persons Amendment Bill 2024 be read the second time.
Seconded. Older persons, seconded by Helen. Honorable, by the whole House. Yes, that's for the... would you speak to it?
Madam Speaker,
all these bills have the same justification.
I invite the House to consider the same justification of the National Secretariat of the Special Interest Groups.
Thank you, thank you. Back to persons with a disability. Since they have the
thanks
same
very much, Madam Speaker,
justification.
for this opportunity again. Before I proceed to give you the report on the Committee of Gender, Labour and Social Development with People with Disability Amendment Bill 2024, Madam Speaker, allow me to lay on the table their minutes and the report.
Thank you.
Madam Speaker, since the justification, the methodology, and the intention and introduction is the same, I go straight to the committee observations and recommendations. The committee makes the following observations and recommendations. 1, inadequate consultation, which has been cutting across. I think in the future they have to improve. The National Council for Persons with Disability who are key were not consulted on the nationalization process, although the Commission of Equity and Compliance represented the ministry on the group. The Minister of Public Service should in future call out adequate consultation with all the relevant stakeholders, especially with the implementation structure and prior to formalization of the bill, even after more sensitization is required. Abolition of Section 30 of the PWS Act 2020. Clause 9 of the bill also intends to abolish Section 30 of the Persons with Disability Act 2020, which establishes district councils for PWs, and therefore removing the grassroots structures for monitoring and mobilizing PWs to effectively participate in the implementation of the government process. Our recommendation, Madam Speaker, Madam Chair, the district council for PWs should be reinstated since they form part of the policy-making organs of the council. 3, loss of expertise of technical officers. The country will lose out on highly experienced technical officers because the bill does not guarantee that they will be redeployed in the National Secretariat. In conclusion, Madam Speaker, before conclusion, the transition process on the redeployment, transfer of assets and liabilities, and pre-recruitment stroke pre-exit engagement is unclear. Recommendation transition clause should be established in the bill. In conclusion, Madam Chair, the committee therefore prays that the country's milestone in affirmative action and protection for the marginalized groups, and that include the persons with disability, should be prioritized by government through strengthening the councils for special interest groups, increasing funding and adequately staffing the National Secretariat for special interest groups that is being created under this act. I beg to move.
Thank you. Could you also give us a summary for the older persons before we put a question?
Madam Chair, I beg to lay on table the report and the means of the report of the National Council for Older Persons Amendment Bill 2024. And straight I go to the observations and recommendations because the implications cut across. Committee observations. Madam Chair and the honorable members, the committee makes the following observations and recommendations. Of course, number 1, which cuts across, is loss of expertise and technical officers. And the committee recommends the government should give priority to technical expertise and highly skilled staff while creating that National Secretariat. Of course, the transition process on redeployment, transfer assets of liabilities, and pre-recruitment is unclear and need to be established. There was inadequate consultation with stakeholders, and here the Minister of Public Service is called upon in future to emphasize on that. In conclusion, Madam Chair, the Minister of Public Service should in future call out adequate consultation with all relevant stakeholders, especially with the implementing structures prior to the formulation of the bill. As I conclude, the committee therefore prays that the country's milestone in affirmative action and protection for marginalized groups, and that include the older person, should be prioritized by government through strengthening the councils for special interest groups, increasing fundings and adequate staffing, and National Secretariat for the special interest groups that is being created under this act. I beg to move.
Thank you. And I remember you've heard, it's the same thing on persons with a disability. I now put a question that the persons, yes.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I wanted to make that clarification where the report has retained Article 30. I think it was an error. It is Article 32 to be removed, which is talking about the district secretariat. So when we reach to amendments, we talk of Article 32 instead of 30.
We shall
Thank you.
correct it
Thank you.
when you are in that clause. I put a question that the person with the disabilities amendment bill 2024 be read the second time. Those in favor say aye, and to the contrary nay. The ayes have it.
The Persons with Disabilities Amendment Bill 2024, Bills Committee stage.
New clause. New clause.
Madam Chair, insertion of the new clause. The bill is amended by inserting a new clause immediately before clause 1 as follows. Commencement. This act shall come into force on the date appointed by the minister by statutory instrument, and justification the same to give room for the process of rationalization to take effect.
Minister.
I concur.
I put a question that the proposed new clause stands part of the bill. Those in favor say and the contrary nay. The ayes have it.
Clause 1.
I put a question that clause 1 stands part of the bill. Those in favor say and the contrary nay. The ayes have it.
Clause 2.
I put a question that clause 2 stands part of the bill. Those in favor say and the contrary nay. The ayes have it.
Clause 3.
I put a question that clause 3 stands part of the bill. Those in favor say and the contrary nay. The ayes have it.
Clause 4.
I put a question that clause 4 stands part of the bill. Those in favor say and the contrary nay. The ayes have it.
Clause 5.
Clause 5.
Madam Chair, clause 5, there is substituted the following. Clause 5 of the bill is amended by substituting for the proposed section 26 of the following. Secretariat. The Secretariat of the Council for Persons with Disability shall be the National Secretariat for Special Interest Groups created under Section 5 of the National Women's Council Amendment Act 2024, as the rest has been done.
Minister.
I concur.
Yes.
Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker. Right Honorable Speaker, under the Person with Disability Act, there is land that belonged to the Uganda Foundation for the Blind that was put under the management of the National Council for Disability. Now that we are merging, we are bringing them under one secretariat, I want to know from the minister whether that land is going to go under the ministry, under this secretariat of the special interest group, or ability in the secretariat of the special interest group.
Honorable Mpindi Bumali, the law that we are passing does not amend your act. What we are doing is to bring the secretariat. You will remain with your act. Youth will remain with their act. There is no amendment of any of your acts. So you will remain with your land, property, your assets and liabilities.
You see, Madam Speaker, the clarity I want to get, yes, the act is there, but this land was managed under the National Council for Disability. And now the National Council for Disability, we are uniting all the special interest group under one
one special.
It is your property. It is your property.
Right Honorable Speaker, I stated clearly that the councils are not being merged. The council, there is a schedule in the Disability Council which lists all the property and land, and it remains in your schedule of the act. The council is not affected, and all the schedules and acts and the legal framework is only the Secretariat.
I put a question that clause 5 be amended as proposed. Those in favor say on the contrary, nay. The ayes have it.
Clause 5 as amended.
I put a question that clause 5 as amended stands part of the bill. Those in favor say on the contrary, nay. The ayes have it.
Clause 6.
I put a question that clause 6 stands part of the bill. Those in favor say on the contrary, nay. The ayes have it.
Clause 7.
I put a question that clause 7 stands part of the bill. Those in favor say on the contrary, nay. The ayes have it.
Clause 8.
I put a question that clause 8 stands part of the bill. Those in favor say on the contrary, nay. The ayes have it.
Clause 9.
Clause 9. You have a deletion.
Thanks very much, Madam Chair. We are repealing of section 32. Let him.
Madam Chair, I think we are retaining Article 30 and repealing 32, which is talking about the Secretariat, in line with the object of the bill, talking about Secretariat.
So how should section 9 be?
Repeal section 30 of the 32 of the Principal Act. It should be 32. Because 32 here reads Secretariat.
Do you want 32 deleted?
Yeah, it's talking about the staff of the Secretariat. And that's what we are doing here. Yeah, we repeal 32.
Chair, can you confirm?
Because 30 is the structure, so you can't touch the structure. But we are talking of the Secretariat, which is 32. Thank you.
What the chair has.
Madam Chair, what is in the bill the bill has no intention of removing the district council secretariat under section 32 of the PWs, as Madam Honorable Minister said. I consulted with APC on them, and I think what we wanted to maintain was the council for PWs, like other interest groups, to be maintained. Yes.
Under section 9.
Under section 9, yes.
So you don't delete,
I'm not deleting.
you retain it as it was.
As it was.
Is that okay?
Yeah.
You retain as it was, you don't delete.
Yes, Madam Chair, that's okay. Retain the structure for the elections. Thank you.
Of the council.
Of the council.
So clause 9 stands part of the bill.
Exactly.
Madam Chair, in the current Act, 30 so structure. It was put in error under 9 to say repeal section 30. It is supposed to repeal 32. So the amendment should be that replace 30 with 32 to read 9 to read repeal of section 32 of Principal Act. Section 32 of the Principal Act is repeal. So 30 was inserted in error.
So we are making amendment to replace it with 32, not 30. I put a question that the clause 9 be amended as proposed by the minister by repealing clause 32. Is that okay? Section
Madam
32.
Chair, but we are maintaining 30 as per the Principal Act, and we are replacing with 32.
With 32.
Thank you.
Yes. By replacing 32, yes, replacing section 30 with 32. Yes. Those in favor say under contrary nay. The ayes have it.
Clause 9 as amended.
I put a question that clause 9 as amended stands part of the bill. Those in favor say under contrary nay. The ayes have it. Clause 10.
Clause 10.
Madam Chair, clause 10 is amended in subsection 2 by substituting for the word by maintaining the word may is being maintained. We are not substituting, but the public service is being substituted by the National Secretariat for Special Interest Groups. And the justification is to guarantee employment for staff, to harness and capitalize on the already existing expertise and experience serving councils. I beg to move.
Thank you.
I concur.
I put a question that clause 10 be amended as proposed. Those in favor say under contrary nay. The ayes have it.
Clause 10 as amended.
I put a question that clause 10 as amended stands part of the bill. Those in favor say under contrary nay. The ayes have it.
Title.
Question that the title stands part of the bill. Those in favor say aye to the contrary nay. The ayes have it.
Motion for resumption of the House.
Honorable Minister.
Madam Chair, I beg to move that the House do resume and the Committee of the Whole House reports thereto.
I put a question that the House does resume and the Committee of the Whole House reports thereto. Those in favor say under the contrary nay. The ayes have it.
Report of the Committee of the Whole House.
Honorable Minister.
Madam Speaker, I beg to report that the Committee of the Whole House has considered the bill entitled the
Persons with Disabilities.
The Persons with Disability Amendment Act 2024. Bill 2024 and passed it with amendments.
Motion for adoption of the report of the Committee of the Whole House.
Honorable Minister.
Madam Speaker, I beg to move that the report from the Committee of the Whole House be adopted.
I put a question that the report of the Committee of the Whole House be adopted by this House. Those in favor say under contrary nay. The ayes have it.
Bill's third reading, the Persons with Disabilities Amendment Bill 2024.
Honorable Minister.
Madam Speaker, I beg to move that the bill entitled the Persons with Disabilities Amendment Bill 2024 be read the third time and do pass.
I put a question that the Persons with the Disabilities Amendment Bill 2024 be read the third time and do pass. Those in favor say under contrary nay. The ayes have it.
A bill for an act titled the Persons with Disabilities Amendment Act 2024.
Title settled and the bill is passed. Congratulations. I put a question that the National Council for Older Persons Amendment Bill 2024 be read the second time. Those in favor say under contrary nay. The ayes have it.
The National Council for Older Persons Amendment Bill 2024, Bills Committee stage.
New clause. clause.
Madam Chair, the insertion of the new clause. The bill is amended by inserting new clause immediately before clause 1 as follows.
Microphone.
Commencement. This act shall come into force on a date appointed by the minister by statutory instrument, and the justification is to give room for the process of rationalization to take effect.
Minister?
No objection.
I put a question that the proposed new clause stands part of the bill. Those in favor say and the contrary nay. The ayes have it.
Clause 1.
I put a question that clause 1 stands part of the bill. Those in favor say and to the contrary nay. The ayes have it.
Clause 2.
I put a question that clause 2 stands part of the bill. Those in favor say and the contrary nay. The ayes have it.
Clause 3.
I put a question that clause 3 stands part of the bill. Those in favor say and the contrary nay. The ayes have it.
Clause 4.
I put a question that clause 4 stands part of the bill. Those in favor say and to the contrary nay. The ayes have it.
Clause 5.
Clause 5.
Madam Chair, clause 5 amendment of the section 1 of the Principal Act. The bill is amended by deleting the definition of the word yet in section 1 of the Principal Act. Justification to give effect to the establishment of the National Secretariat of Special Interest Groups under section 5 of the National Women's Council Act. And 2, to avoid ambiguity.
Minister?
No objection.
Are you okay? Honorable Minister, are you okay? I put a question that clause 5 be amended as proposed. Those in favor say and the contrary nay. The ayes have it. You know in 6?
Clause 5 as amended.
I put a question that clause 5 as amended be part of the stands part of the bill. Those in favor say and the contrary nay. The ayes have it.
Clause 6.
6, Chair.
Madam Chair, clause 6, substitution section 11 of the Principal Act. For clause 6, there is a substituted the following. Clause 6 of the bill is amended by substituting for the proposed section 11 of the following. Secretariat. The Secretariat of the National Council for Older Persons shall be in the National Secretariat Interest Groups created under section 5 of the National Women's Council Amendment Act 2024.
No objection.
I put a question that clause 6 be amended as proposed. Those in favor say and the contrary nay. Ayes have it.
Clause 6 as amended.
I put a question that clause 6 as amended stands part of the bill. Those in favor say and the contrary nay. The ayes have it.
Clause 7.
I put a question that clause 7 stands part of the bill. Those in favor say and the contrary nay. The ayes have it.
Clause 8.
Clause 8.
Madam Chair, clause 8 amendment of section 13 of Principal Act. For clause 8, there is substituted the following. Repeal of section 13. Section 13 of the Principal Act is repealed. Justification, this is a National Secretariat of Special Interest Groups under section 5 of the National Women's Council Act, Cap 318.
Minister?
No objection.
I put a question that clause 8 be amended as proposed. Those in favor say and the contrary nay. The ayes have it.
Clause 8 as amended.
I put a question that clause 8 as amended stands part of the bill. Those in favor say and the contrary nay. The ayes have it.
Clause 9.
I put a question that clause 9 stands part of the bill. Those in favor say and the contrary nay. The ayes have it.
Clause 10.
I put clause 10.
Madam Chair, clause 10, we intend to maintain the word may, which we had intended to substitute with shall, but the word public service is being replaced by national secretariat for special interest groups.
Okay. I put a question that clause 10 be amended as proposed. Those in favor say to the contrary nay. The ayes have it.
Clause 10 as amended.
I put a question that clause 10 as amended stands part of the bill. Those in favor say and the contrary nay. The ayes have it.
Title.
I put a question that title stands part of the bill. Those in favor say aye to the contrary nay. The ayes have it.
Motion for resumption of the House.
Honorable Minister.
Madam Chair, I beg to move that the House do resume and the Committee of the Whole House reports thereto.
I put a question that the House does resume and the Committee of the Whole House reports thereto. Those in favor say and the contrary nay. The ayes have it.
Report of the Committee of the Whole House.
Honorable Minister.
Madam Speaker, I beg to report that the Committee of the Whole House has considered the bill entitled the National Council for Older Persons Amendment Bill 2024 and passed it with amendments.
Thank you.
Motion for adoption of the report of the Committee of the Whole House.
Honorable Minister.
Madam Speaker, I beg to move that the report from the Committee of the Whole House be adopted.
I put a question that the report of the Committee of the Whole House be adopted by this House. Those in favor say and the contrary nay. The ayes have it.
Bill's third reading. The National Council for Older Persons Amendment Bill 2024.
Honorable Minister.
Madam Speaker, I beg to move that the bill entitled the National Council for Older Persons Amendment Bill 2024 be read the third time and do pass.
I put a question that the National Council for Older Persons Amendment Bill 2024 be read the third time and do pass. Those in favor say and the contrary nay. The ayes have it.
A bill for an act titled the National Council for Older Persons Amendment Act 2024.
Title settled and the bill passed. Congratulations. And honorable members, I want to thank you so much. I have one bill for withdrawal. One or two? I have a bill for withdrawal.
Chairperson was going to do. He has written to you. The chairperson of the committee.
It was going to do what? Honorable members, based on Rule 140, Rule 140 of the Rules of Procedure, the Minister of Education is hereby withdrawing which bill?
The bill entitled National Curriculum Development Center Amendment Bill 2024.
Is it seconded? Seconded. Seconded. Seconded by the whole House. The bill stands withdrawn.
Yeah, right, Honorable Speaker, before
Honorable
the
members,
goes,
honorable members, honorable members, Al-Hajj, honorable members, I want to thank you so much for your endurance and for staying up to this time. May the good Lord bless you. And Sarah, you say just that. That's why some people are unfortunate. For me, when you tell me they don't appreciate God, this is me, I get more excited. Amen. We are there for the house to Tuesday at 10. And all the bills under rationalization, I am giving this notice to the chairpersons. All the chairpersons with the bills under rationalization must bring their bills. Failure to bring the bills, the House will proceed without the reports to consider your bills. On Thursday, Wednesday, Thursday, we shall be able to consider the tax bills so that we give time for us to understand the tax bills and discuss the tax bills early as we go into the budgeting. Once more, thank you and have a blessed weekend. House adjourned.
Radio. UBC Radio 98 FM.
Maru UBC Radio.
Maru UBC Radio. Programs Miss Sunday.
Radio where UBC.
Apoyo.
Your programs are so informative. I love them so much.
Your music rocks me.
Nyumira nnyo kuwuliriza UBC Radio kubanga abantu bayo bakola ekiriyo.
You are listening to UBC Radio.
UBC Radio, inspiring Uganda. Swa ku Star TV.
Ekizimbe kyekimu ku bintu omuntu bye yeetaaga mu bulamu. Weetaaga okumanya kiki ekyetaagisa omuntu okuba n'ekizimbe. Kibe kyakusulwamu oba ekikolebwamu ensimbi. Lowooza ku ttaka, ensimbi, emitendera, obukugu obuteekebwa mu kuzimba, ebikozesebwa era n'amateeka g'ebyokuzimba. Program omuzimbi ekuyigiriza byonna ebyetaagisa ggwe okuba n'ekizimbe kyo oba ekyo ky'olina okubeera eky'omulembe n'omuweerezaawo My Sharam Queen Mother ku Star TV emunyenye y'eggwanga.
This is the Kalahari.
Kakati no jebeta Kalahari.
To get to know one of the most extraordinary animals on the planet, one of the most proficient